And yes, I'm still making chippies.
I have a mint slice that my housemate just threw at me with engraving.
Thank you. I feel very complimented now. Thank you.
Oh, not even wearing a proper bra today, so nice. I'm gonna.
I buy B3, so I don't even have to buy it. It's heaven.
Okay, so Mistborn, the Final Empire. We should probably clarify that's the one because all the names change.
Yeah, the first book is called The Final Empire, and the series is called The Mistborn.
Yeah, but originally when it came out, it was just called Mistborn, wasn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, hi guys, thanks for coming.
Hello, hello, hello.
As usual, we're in a little bit of chaos because I'm still eating chips, which are very crunchy. And Charlotte had to remove a serious collection of teacups from her table before we started.
Yes, I did.
That was impressive.
That was just today's lot.
Now, I do have to, because I have never actually asked you, how do you drink your tea?
Depends on the type of tea. If it is black tea with a bit of soy milk, or regular milk is fine as well, but soy is better on my digestive system these days. Is that charger okay? If it's herbal or green, just as is. I don't usually add honey or sugar unless it's like a chai blend or something. Then I might add a bit of honey because that's
I love chai.
Nice.
I love it so much.
But chai is also good without, but chai with a bit of honey is really good.
Yeah, it's interesting because you would think I would be a fanatic, but I actually hate dirty chai. Can't stand it.
I've never had a dirty chai.
It's disgusting. Well, this one I tried was disgusting. I'm sure there's nicer ones out there. And for those of you, unfortunately, who thought we were going to talk about Mistborn, we're going to talk about tea for a few minutes instead. A dirty chai is actually a coffee with chai tea in it. It's espresso, actually. It's not even just coffee. It's espresso. I'm sorry. Maybe
I think I missed like the most hilarious part of that because I had to mute you right as you said dirty chai is, because I'd opened the YouTube tab and I needed to quickly mute here so that I didn't get feedback. And then I pulled back, I unmuted around you said something about espresso. And it's not even
dirty chai is an espresso with chai in it. So it's a chai tea with espresso added to it. And I'm sorry, but the one I tried was disgusting.
Yeah, I've never tried it, but I've never really been that keen to try it.
Well, see, I'm a coffee addict. So to me, coffee and chai spices would be awesome.
Yeah.
Do you want Darwin? In you come. She doesn't know if she wants to be in or out. She's feeling better, so she's been very demanding. Yes, go sit on my foot.
Oh gosh. I swear I had I was like, where'd my tablet go? That's got the pattern on it. It's under the Tim Tams. Also, I'm not sure what is going on in Melbourne at the moment. Maybe it's some benevolent God having pity on us because we're going back into lockdown for the second time. But Tim Tams have been half price every time I've been shopping for the last month. No matter what supermarket I'm in, they're always half price. I know.
You know what? I think Tim Tams are just literally on sale at the moment. I think it's because they're not selling, because everyone's buying toilet paper.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just they're like severely overstocked everywhere and trying to clear out the overstock. But every time I've been to the supermarket in the last month, Tim Tams have been half price. Like the cheapest they ever are is $1.82. Normally they're like $3 a pack, but it's rare that you can't find them slightly reduced somewhere at all times.
Yeah, I know, which is really rare. I mean, and also too, to see the piles of double coat, like boxes of double coat on the end of the aisles for sale. It's insane.
Today I bought. Is this gonna fix? No, that just makes it worse. Let's see. I'm just.
Now we've already done our video. So is the lighting okay?
Yeah, your lighting's good. I was just trying to work out because I had like uneven sides, and I've just moved. I've got like so I'll just show you. I've got this, which features in my vlog that I did not edit any of today that I was planning to.
You're good. You're good.
I had forgotten that that's how I started. So what happened was I imported all the footage, and then I copied it all, and then pasted into iMovie, and for some reason, just out of luck, it all copied in the right order, like in order of like.
That never happens to me. That's always weird, and I have to sit there and adjust it all.
To be fair, I haven't watched through it all yet to check, but the first one was right and the last one was right, so I'm pretty sure they're in the right order.
Yeah. Well, see, I use Premiere, so for me it's usually file numbers, but I think it's sometimes the way I add it, it reverses everything, which is a pain. No.
I literally was like, maybe I should watch this. I got through the first minute or so, but I clicked play from the start and immediately lost my shit laughing because I forgot how I started the vlog. And I'm not going to tell you all how I started because you can go watch it. But I will just say, like, I'd forgotten that I did this because I remember seeing it and was like, oh, this will be a fun joke. Because my phone was just sitting on the desk and I was like, oh, that looks nice. And then I did the thing and I've sent Renee and like Chaos Corner the clip. But
it's so funny. I can't wait till you release it.
Just like, because then it goes straight into my intro and then straight into me introducing the thing. And like that progression is just so perfect. I love that shit.
Oh dear. Now, okay, let's just run through a little bit here. Now, okay, for anyone, if you see me making strange faces, my cat has just decided to take up residence between my feet on my blanket. So she may decide at some random point to chew on my toes. Okay, so if I start going,
or if Renee is randomly like, fuck, it's probably the cat.
That did happen last night when we were on Danny's stream. There wasn't very much of fuck at one point because she just came out of nowhere. She's feeling better.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad she's getting better.
Yeah. But I tell you what, her bloody food's hard to find and it's damn expensive. Anyway, I've got to go. Sorry.
I have Brandon saying, wait, collection, how many cups does she have? I have a lot of cups.
Yeah. So, hi, Max. Thank you for coming. We have Brandon. Now, yes, this was just before we went live. And I do believe this was my answer.
You never asked that. Yeah. Look, today there was only like 4. No, there was 3 in the bowl, I think, today. But I had the teapot and the teacup, and then I had 2 other mugs from Random Cups of Tea. To be fair, they weren't all my fault because I got a cup of tea in a different mug, and I got a different mug so I could do like the tea bag one because I only used my teacup one for the teapot because they're a set.
Yes, I know. You've got the set where it sits on top of the teacup, don't you?
Huh?
You got the set where you can sit the teapot on top of the teacup? Yeah, I like those ones. Nice.
I got my cup of tea in my For Fox's Sake mug. And then later on in the afternoon, Brie bought me a cup of tea, like brought in a cup of tea for me that she'd made, and she'd made it in a different mug. So that's why there were so many mugs. But I am also guilty of like over mugging for the day.
Okay. This is interesting. Brandon's saying he'll probably read Mistborn after he reads Lord of the Rings. Now,
very different.
Which one would you suggest to do first?
Well, I don't know because I haven't read Lord of the Rings since year 9. Well, no, I've read through half again since year 9, which is when I first read it.
Brandon, you're 13, aren't you? Okay. I read Lord of the Rings at about 11 years old, and I did not understand a lot of what was happening. Now, there's a big difference between 11 and 13. There's a lot of developmental growth between there and understanding. So you might, I don't know which one would be better. I think Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn might be a little bit more modern, so you might find it easier to get into the story.
The difference I would say is, so Lord of the Rings is very dense, very detailed, very beefy. It's a beefy read. Mistborn is epic fantasy that people who don't like epic fantasy could get through pretty easily, because
it's really it's Ocean 11 in a fantasy world, effectively. Yes.
It's basically, a heist movie in an epic fantasy setting. Heist book. It's a caper. Yes, Cachet made it.
I hope you have your crochet ready, Cachet.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And Cachet wanted to see my jumper. So this is what I was saying on the top of the legs. It's a bit wrinkled. I'll try and show it when I've got half of it across the needles so you can see a bit better. Yeah. But this is what I was describing. I showed them the pattern on the stream this afternoon. Or this morning.
I'm bummed to make it, but we were redoing our study, so there was no way in hell I was going to make it.
Yeah, that's all right. But I've actually got the pattern this week, so this is the pattern I'm working off.
Cachet, this is for you. I am still waiting on the power. I can't get it.
Wondering why Renee doesn't sound very purple tonight. It's unfortunately the phantom power cord is still to arrive.
I reckon the first time I do actually have it running, I'm just going to go, do I sound deep purple?
I can see some of the latest comments was Max saying, impatiently waiting for the vlog, and Brandon holds up protesting signs for vlog. I will try and edit it a little bit, Brandon, and tomorrow, because the thing is, I just forgot about it today. I meant to have it out by now, but you know what my track record's like with videos at the moment. It's terrible. I really need to pull my game back together, particularly because I think the November challenge will be good because it will get me to pull my bloody finger out and get back into the habit of making videos all of the time.
Yeah,
and if I can plan stuff, it'll be good as well.
Yeah, see, I sort of given myself a license to just sort of go on YouTube. This for me is the author community. So for me, it's let's just chat author stuff. Let's have fun. Let's do sprints. So if I don't put a video out, I'm not going to stress myself over it, because to me, this is not my marketing channel. It's got nothing to do with actually selling anything. It's going to be more sort of just fun and education. Like, for instance, before we came live tonight, guys, I'm actually starting to do research on a video about ISBNs, what they are, why we need them, and why they're so important. And it's actually really fascinating. It's really fascinating. It's very interesting. There's ISBNs have gone through several different, I'm not going to go into the history of it in the video I do, but they've gone through quite a lot of different changes. So it's actually been fun to learn about this. And I think I've lost Charlotte because she's frozen. Yes, she has. Charlotte's frozen. Or have I frozen? Who's frozen, guys? Those chips sound delicious.
Oh, am I back?
You're back.
At first, it does this annoying thing. So you freeze first, so I'm never sure whether it's me or you until the little spirals start going, and I'm like, oh, fuck it, me.
Ready for the spiral. Am I frozen, or is Charlotte who is frozen? I don't know.
I was doing the same thing all the time. I was doing the same thing because I'm just like, if it's one of us, And if both of us stop talking, then like whatever's left on the screen for everyone watching.
Ola's back with tea and toasty.
Yes. I have a glass.
So I can do my rendition of Who is Frozen
and a bottle. So I might try this tonight. Would it be good with frozen raspberries instead of ice cubes? Because I don't have any ice cubes, but I do have frozen raspberries.
See, I know Ken would say drink it neat, which is nothing. Just put the damn thing in the glass and drink it. Me personally, I like a bit of
drinking it neat.
Sorry? Yeah, that's effectively drinking it neat, honey.
No, who needs a glass if you're going to drink it?
Exactly. Yeah, well, you got to look sophisticated somehow. Look, you could probably try raspberries. I've never thought about putting raspberries in.
I kind of wanted to try some raspberries in a hot toddy, but I forgot to get lemons when I went out to shop just before. And now I don't have any unless I steal my housemate's last lemon, and I'm not sure whether I wanted it for anything. I don't need to put the heater on now.
Yeah, no, you don't. You don't. Oh, dear.
I'm having to be careful because the last time I drank like spirit neat was at my friend's 21st. And it was a night to remember.
No.
It was a night to remember. But the result of drinking almost a full bottle of vodka over the course of the evening without any mixes, it didn't go well on my stomach later on. Not that night, but the next morning was an awful hangover. And then as a result, like the day after, I got so sick after that because I got a tonsil infection after that night out. So the first day I had a really bad hangover, and then I was just starting to feel better from the hangover the next night. Lemon and cloves in the whiskey.
Oh, yeah, I believe so. I've never tried that, but that sounds really nice.
I think I have cloves.
I don't. I had to throw mine out. They were getting a bit old. So I wasn't going to.
If I've got cloves, they'll be several years old. Anyway, then the next morning I woke up with a sore throat so the first morning I had a hangover, started to feel better by the evening. Then the next morning I woke up with a sore throat, which eventually got worse and worse to the point that I was in hospital a week later, and I ended up in hospital for a week. So my association with like the strong smell of like straight spirits is still getting over that. That's
Brandon. Do you see the finger, Brandon? I am someone's mother. That qualifies me. Never chug the whiskey. Yes, thank you, Max. Yeah, hot whiskey with. I want to try that now.
Does sound good.
Do you just put it in like a? Do you put it in like a saucepan and warm it up, or?
Would guess, yeah.
Oh, that sounds nice.
That does sound good.
Yeah. Well, actually, what I want to try is like because you were doing the hot toddies the other night. I actually want to try it with the non-alcoholic one I picked up. I think that would be really nice.
That would be nice.
Because it has a really nice aftertaste, but there's very little at the front when you first touch it when you first drink it. So I think having the tea would actually give it a good like round flavour. Oh, has he woken up?
Yeah, or just add a bit of hot water to the whiskey, touch of sugar if it needs sweetened. If it needs sweetening, yeah. Well, Renee doesn't like sweet whiskey, so I know she'd be more for hot water.
I can't do it. That's why I don't like bourbon. I don't like sweet. I just can't. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. But I do like that idea. I will give that a go, Orla. I do like that. Yeah. When he's out, well, you got to have a nice whiskey to go with your book. Pretty much to go with everything. Yeah, so anyway, Mistborn.
Mistborn, The Final Empire. I fucking love this book. And I've loved every single one of the books that we've chosen so far. We are on a good roll.
I actually really, really enjoyed this book when I got off my ass and actually listened to the audiobook. Because guys, 6 hours in, I haven't finished it. I failed. I'm the first one to fail.
But so you're 6 hours in. What point did you get up to?
He's walking her through the city and teaching her how to use all of her different elements.
So the first sort of like training with Allomancy.
Yeah. I'm really not far into it. So and I don't know what it is. I think it's just oh geez. I'm gonna have to go get the little fella. He might have to hang with us for a little while. I'll be back in a sec.
Bonus co-host. Anyway, I can just ramble about Mistborn while she goes. Sarah J. Maas. Oh my god, Emily is here. Oh wait, Emily's probably been here for a while. No, so we won't spoil anything just yet because Renee hasn't finished either. Renee's only in like the first section. So I don't want to spoil anything for Renee either. But we'll start off talking about like, I don't know, it's a caper book, which is really fun. So the main premise is that they're planning this big sort of job. And so, but it's a fantasy and they've set up this whole fantasy world, which is really cool with its own rules and magic system and everything. Hi, Dal. And so you've got all of the classic roles that you see in a heist movie, but they're different because they've changed it. So they've integrated the magic system with all of the different types of magic. So the Mistborn is someone who can use all of the different metals and all of the different types of magic. And then they have Mistings who just have access to use one type, and they usually practice so much with that one type that they're like an expert with that, whereas the Mistborn can be sort of generally good at everything unless they really
I don't have like nicknames for all the types, like, you know, oh, this person is, we called him a thug, you know. I just like that. I like how we went to the effort of saying, well, okay, well, they're using this magic in their life, so, you know, what would they, you know, do with it? And
so there's thugs who use the metal, so their sort of access is to the metal that can increase your strength, I think, is the main one. So they're thugs. Soothers are the ones who can sort of soothe emotions and sort of manipulate people's emotions. And then what are the other ones? There's the ones that they can
push each other, push themselves off or something.
There's smokers who use copper and brass, which is so the whole magic system is tied to different metals. So basically they can burn the metals like you would burn minerals or whatever from an energy source. You burn the metals and you get the powers from the different metals to do different things. So copper and brass are paired. Copper, when you burn it, it hides you from other people who can sense your allomancy. Brass, when you burn it, you can sense other people's allomancy and what they're using. So
I like how you twin them up. I do like how we twin them up and made like one is one and then one is sort of the opposite.
Yeah. So smokers use copper and they get a smoker in every crew because they hide the crew and their powers from everyone else and from surrounding like obligators and the law and everything, which is really cool. And so the whole like traditional heist team that you would have, so like a hacker and someone who gathers like intelligence and all of the different roles that you would have in a heist crew, he's made these roles but using the magic system and using the fantasy world. So they sort of are like the fantasy world, Mistborn world version of those roles from a heist movie, and it is so cool. It is so cool.
Yeah, no, I do like that.
I love the way he does world building because he doesn't really info dump on you. He just sort of, when he's describing the settings around them, as you would in any given scene where you'd mention certain elements to pull in little descriptive elements to set the setting of the scene, he uses that to integrate the world building. So he'll say the blood red sun, or like the red sun because the sun is red, or he'll mention the ash falling. And so you get a sense of like the whole world of like how everything looks from the way that he will sprinkle in the descriptions, which I love the way that he does that, because it means that you get to focus in on the story, and the more that you get into the story, the more you get a better picture of how this world looks, and it is awesome. It's so cool.
Yeah. I must admit, though, like for first impressions, the one thing I really, really liked, the main character's female so far. And second, is she's not a damsel in distress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the real kicker. And yes, I'm ignoring my screaming child. Hopefully he will settle. But yeah, no, I really did like that. And I must admit, I would love to have, I can't get into it. I don't know what is, and this is the thing is, and this is something I think is really interesting, is I love his writing. I think it's amazing. I'm enjoying what I've listened to, because I'm listening to it on an audiobook. But I just am not in the mood for a fantasy at the moment, it seems. And I think that's my problem. And look, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean it's a bad book. It just means I just, at this point, I just cannot get into it.
Good thing we're doing a sci-fi again next. Have we announced what we're doing next? We might as well do this at the start while everyone's here.
Yeah, well, we can't. We haven't quite decided, because we'll talk in one, and then Cache went and recommended another one.
That is true, but is it sci-fi or is it fantasy?
Sci-fi.
Is it sci-fi?
Yes.
Ooh. Do we have access to it, though? Because that's the thing. We had access to the other one, didn't we?
I purchased it on Audible today.
Nice. Cool. So I should be able to get it as well. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shall we put it to a vote then? Shall we do... I can't remember what the one is called. Is it the 5th season?
It's the 5th season by NK...
By the person who won all the awards?
Yeah.
Whose name I should remember.
Yes, I've still got 19 hours and 30 minutes left of Mistborn, The Final Empire, guys. So NK Jemisin?
Yep. Our other option was June by...
And the other option is June.
What's his face?
Frank Herbert. Which is an amazing book. It's a fantastic novel. It has dated, but it also, with the new TV series coming out soon.
There's a new film or TV series version.
I think it's a TV series.
With Timothée Chalamet and Oscar Isaac and what is her name? I've forgotten the girl's name.
Yeah.
She was a Disney girl who was in The Greatest Showman and Spider-Man and all that. Why do I not remember her name? Zendaya. With Zendaya in that, I know. So she's in it as well.
It's some chick.
Some chick who's really hot and in a lot of stuff. And really talented. All right, so we wanted to do June at some point before the movie comes out, so that we can then watch that. I do know there was a series called Children of June, which had James McAvoy, a young James McAvoy
mini series. Yeah, they're the TV mini series from Hallmark. So you have June, which is a 3-part mini series, and then you have the Children of June, which is the second book, and they've got a 3-part series as well. And look, to be honest, I actually don't mind those miniseries. I know they got canned when they first came out, but they're very close to the originals. The only thing I don't like about any June adaptation that they've done so far in in the whole is they always make the main character too old at the start. Like 12 years old when he gets when he goes to June, and that's why his reactions are so childlike. And then you see this adult who's like meant to be, who looks 18, making the same reactions to his father and his mother, and you're like, no. That's my one thing about those movies. Yeah, Emily, look, I'm in a fantasy slump. I'm not in a reading slump. I'm in a fantasy slump. I haven't even listened to Lord of the Rings this month. I normally listen to it once a month.
Oh, we never really answered Brandon's question. I would say both are good. If you're looking for an audiobook version of Mistborn: The Final Empire, I highly recommend the one that I listened to, which was the graphic audio version. So good. So good. It's a different one to what Renee listened to, the Audible version, I think.
Yeah, I'm listening to the single narrator one, and you've got the multicast.
I've got the multicast, and it is so like the voices do a really good job.
Yeah, I might just, to be honest, I might just leave it until I actually am writing fantasy again, because I think that might be part of the problem. I'm writing sci-fi, my head's all androids, aliens, all that sort of stuff. So I don't really care for it. I don't even want to read Still Remains at the moment, guys. And I love that book. I love that book, and I don't even want to read it. So.
Yeah. Whereas I actually enjoyed The Change of Place, because I'm not like I think it might be actually similar, because that could be a similar reason why I was having so much trouble getting back into Project Space. Even though I'm in a bit of sci-fi for Project Space at the moment, I really want to move on to the pirate story, which will be more sort of fantasy historical.
Yeah.
And so I was definitely in the mood for this one at the time.
I was going to say, Emily, I need you to finish it so I can read it.
Finish your damn book, Emily, so we can read it. I mean, we can already technically read the bits that you've got on DeviantArt, but I want to read the whole thing because I don't like waiting.
Yeah.
I don't like getting the story and I can't finish reading it.
Yeah. There's quite a lot. And then his son went on and wrote even more. But yeah, I just like June. I think June is great as a standalone. I don't think you need to read the rest of them.
Yes. Emily, I'll race you to finish a draft.
Well, now that's right.
Because I think we're both almost to the end, aren't we?
I think you both are, yeah.
I hit 45K last night on the stream.
I am impressed. Yay.
So I've got, and that includes the stuff that I still got to rewrite. But as I've been rewriting it, I end up adding more, which is good because I'll either add bits that weren't included or I'll cut out bits and rewrite them differently, how they needed to change. But yeah, I'm getting close. I'm hoping I can actually, if I can pull my finger out tomorrow and get some more done, because I got bugger all done today. If we do some sprints later, I might get some more done. Also, if anyone in the chat would like to stick around to the end after we finish our chat and do some writing sprints, we're down for that because I've only written a little bit today when I was on the stream with Cachet this afternoon.
And I've written nothing.
And Renee has also not written much, so we would like to do some more at some point.
I had to install this.
Yes, that is important. And it is a shame that you cannot use it yet.
It does look cool.
I think, if anything, that might be the one thing that stops me from getting that one. I'm going to have to do my research because I want something that I can use sort of without too much faffing around.
Look, to be honest, the only reason I went for the one with the phantom power and all the bells and whistles is because I do eventually want to narrate my own audiobooks.
Yeah.
If I was just doing this and I was just doing streams and video in and things like that, I would have gone for the one that Emily showed us, something like that, which is just a basic USB link connection, and you don't have to go through all the messy crap. But I wanted the extra ability to deal with all the fun stuff.
Yeah. And I'm going to see what the pros and cons are, because I'm also doing podcasting. So that would be similar to audiobook in terms of what the quality that I'd want.
Yeah.
Plus, also for a secret project that I am working on, there is a potential to possibly have some audio versions of some of that being tossed around at the moment. So if I end up needing to record anything like that, I want to have a good mic for that. And also, it'd be nice to experiment with making more audio stuff. Anyway, we were talking about Mistborn. I'm looking forward to reading the next ones in the series, but I think I need a bit of a break now for a little while at least.
Well, that's it, guys. Well, okay, if everyone can vote for either June or 5th season, let us know which one you want us to read, because I'm down for either. Although I must admit, 5th season looks significantly shorter.
That may be the deciding factor then. I'm down for a short book.
Yeah, we've read a couple of beasts. We have read a couple of big beasts at the moment. So
yeah. Like if I can get an audiobook version, I can just put it on while I'm at work packing parcels. And like I got through, if it's a Monday and I have like 60 parcels, that's like 3 hours of audiobook I can get through.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I just screwed up. Not paying attention to what I'm knitting. Whoops.
Okay, so I like this. I'm not down for anything. Sprints, books, whiskey. Yep, cool. No worries. Murder. Yep. Okay, cool. No worries. Emily says June. Hang on, let me write this down. So let's do June and 5th. I always want to write Fifth Element. Don't ask me why. We have one for
The Fifth Element is a great film.
I love it. So Brandon, we're going to take that as a 5th season from Brandon.
Yes.
No, they haven't, Max. Totally agree. They have not aged well at all. But it's still 5th season for Cachet. I kind of figured that, but we always wait for the lady to say. What do you reckon, Max? Which one should we go for? Anyway, okay, so Mistborn, The Final Empire.
Mm-hmm. What I really liked, and I think because I'd actually managed to avoid spoilers pretty well, I would advise if you're reading The Final Empire, do not, under any circumstances, look up book 2 and read the synopsis for book 2 that they use to promote book 2, because in like the first sentence of the synopsis, they spoil a major spoiler for book 1. And I was just like, I hadn't gotten to that point yet. And I just ruined, like, it didn't ruin it per se because it didn't play out in the way that I expected. But it spoils like a major thing.
Oh,
that is a major part of the thing. And I was just like, I didn't want to know that. Because then I knew it was going to happen. So then when it happened, I wasn't as shocked or surprised that it had happened. Like I was like, oh, that was different, or that was slightly earlier than I expected. But I was like, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
No.
Look, see, this is the thing, is I'm not fussed about spoilers. I've had movies spoiled, books spoiled. I've had the lot. I actually don't really give a shit about spoilers. As long as the writing or the acting is good, I don't care. You know, and that's looking cool. So you're still working on your For Fox's Sake jumper?
I am indeed. I actually have one, like a plain jumper in this pattern now because my nana knitted one for me. And it's the same pattern as what I used for the base of this. So now I know what the finished pattern is supposed to look like. So if I fuck it up, I'll know. But also, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see. I hope I've got enough wool to do it all. Although there's a decent amount in here, and I think I've got some more in the cupboard somewhere.
You should be all right.
I'm pretty sure. Maybe not all of these, but like most of these balls are actually connected to this. I have 5 balls of wool connected to this piece.
I'm doing a blanket at the moment. I haven't pulled it out because it involves thought process. One side is hawthorn brown and gold stripes. The other side is the Melbourne Storm lightning bolt. So I've got 2 yellows, a brown, and I'll eventually have a purple attached. Do you know how hard it is to double knit when you got 2 fucking yellows? Double knitting. Oh my God. It's going to look great when it's finished. Fucking hell.
I can see how that would be a lot of brain power for one project, though. Like, I have enough keeping track of it.
I don't give a shit if I knitted with this before. I'm purling with this damn string. Don't care. Anyway. So we've got a few people that don't mind spoilers. Memory See, it's not about memory for me. It's just if it's engaging enough story, it doesn't matter. And 90% of the time I'm watching a movie or TV or reading a book or TV show, I guess the ending anyway.
See, the one time a spoiler really annoyed me was when I was reading the Harry Potter series, and I read it really late. Like, I was in year 9 by the time I was reading it, and the entire series was out. I read it so late that by the time I finished the last book, I was able to see the last movie in cinemas, and I could binge all the other movies. That's like when I finished reading them all. Anyway, I was reading them. I think I just finished the 4th one. Someone in my class asked me who my favorite character was, and I said Sirius Black, and she goes, "Oh, he dies in book 5." And I was like,
hey.
What? So then I just refused to read book 5 for a good few months because I was like, if I don't read it, he's still alive.
You haven't shut Discord down properly, have you?
No.
That's funny. I was looking at mine to see if it was me.
New Unreads. Who's talking about RuPaul? God damn it. God damn it, Edward. Shush. Alright, gotta quit that. So if I close it without quitting it, it pops up notifications in the background.
I have to, because I'm on a window, so I have to close it, and then I have to go down to like the little hotkeys down the bottom. I don't even know what they're called, the shortcut keys, and then I have to exit out of it. Otherwise, it just stays in there, and I hear brrr, brrr, brrr. Particularly when Danny and Charlotte are in the chat.
Yeah. Yes. I have my moments.
Yeah, look, see, I actually read the Harrys as they were coming out, and that's from number 1. So I read from my mum. My mum heard about Harry Potter. I think she was watching like a morning show, and she heard about Harry Potter and she thought, oh, my girls might like that. So she went and bought the first book. I actually think if I go and dig out the Harry Potters we have at my parents' house, I reckon some of them are first Australian editions because we were buying them literally as they came out. And it really wasn't that big a spoiler. It was so obvious. But by that time I was reading a lot in high school. A lot. And
I read a lot. I read so much in like years 9 to 12. Like I read a lot. Actually, I read a lot from like year 5 to 12. I stopped reading as much in uni because I had so much like academic reading to do, and I read a bit in first year, and then I was reading the Divergent series, and I was on a Legion, and I got like halfway through it and then never finished it. Yeah. To the point where I had no idea how that book actually ended because they never made the movie of that book either. Until I Googled it at the end of last year during NaNoWriMo because just curious. I read the synopsis of how it finished, and I was like, I'm fucking glad I didn't finish this book. That shit is so fucked up. Because the whole end of that book apparently like caused a shitstorm, and I can see why. But the whole end of that book, I was just like, what?
There's some books that get you. Actually, I think Charlotte may have frozen again, and that's a perfect screen to freeze on. Oh, dear. So what are we talking about, guys, whilst we wait for Charlotte to come back? Yeah, Endgame. Yeah, I don't watch the end. I actually turn it off before that bit happens. I can't. I just can't. It's all right, Brandon. You'll get there. Yeah, that was a perfect screen, wasn't it? It was perfect. Well, she'll probably be trying to log back in, and hey, guess what? It's not my internet doing the issues of the night.
For fuck's sake. Where did it freeze? Because I was just in the middle of saying something like, fucking hell, that book.
Well, you got to rewatch the stream because you're like this.
Oh gosh. But yeah. Yeah.
Game of Thrones. You know what? Game of Thrones, I'm just waiting for him to finish the books and then I'm going to read them. I started reading the first one and I went, no, I am not falling into a Richard Jordan trap here. I'm waiting. Because
in about 10 years, this book club will finally be doing the Game of Thrones series when the last one is out.
I refuse to read any of them until they're finished. I actually got to now go back and read the Wheel of Time series because that was my thing with Wheel of Time.
Are they all out now?
Yeah. I actually read up to book 5, and book 5 is a real filler, and I keep getting stuck at it. I've read up to book 5 about 4 times. But I do want to get through it. I do want to finish it. But
I only know of the Wheel of Time series because of the Writing Excuses podcast, because they mention it all the fucking time.
Yeah, because he gave all these millions of characters to Brandon to finish up. So, yeah. But apparently the last book has something like a 100 or 200 page fight scene or something, and I'm like, oh, I'm down for that. This whole chapter is like fight, and I'm like, oh, I'm so down for that.
That sounds so good.
Yeah, but apparently you need the payoff of reading through all 15 books, and all 15 books are around about 400 to 500 pages long.
Yeah,
I'm waiting to get the audiobooks.
Yeah, I see. This is the thing. So I read so much at school, and then I stopped reading in uni after the Divergent shit. Anyway, I only read a couple of books in uni, and actually one of the best books that I read that I was like, I finally felt like I could actually read again, and then I stopped reading again because I did honours, was in semester break after finishing one degree and about to start the next degree, was a book called Not My Father's Son, which is a memoir by Alan Cumming.
I've heard of that.
It's so good. It is so good. And I tore through that book. Look, we're in the same state, so we're in the same city even. Yeah. So yeah. Possible. I tore through that. And it didn't end how I expected, and it was brilliant. Anyway, then I stopped reading again. This book club actually has made me read more than I have in the last 5 years, pretty much.
Same. I stopped reading because when I was making jewelry, I just didn't have time.
To be fair, I was actually reading a lot. I just wasn't reading books. I was reading a lot of fanfic.
Yeah, I was reading a lot, but I was reading how-tos and marketing and, all the businessy stuff. And because I like to geek out on that shit. Just warning you all for my next few videos coming out.
Look forward to that.
Yeah, no, as I said, like the ISBN shit's actually really interesting.
It does sound interesting, and like, yes. And also, I find there's this thing as well, whereas if you're passionate about something and you like, and people can tell that from the way that you talk about it, it makes them more interested in the topic. Like the best teachers I had at uni were the ones who made you interested in the topic because of how enthusiastic about it they were. And they had a way of bringing it into like an interesting sphere. And I find the same thing when I go off on a tangent ramble about lighting design. People are just like, oh yeah, that's really interesting.
Oh yeah.
What is lighting design is specifically interesting? It's just because I find it fascinating and I can nerd out about it to no end and come up with like talk about all these fine little details that I find interesting. But I think it's the way that I what was it about Tim Tams? Internet hates Tim Tams. Yes, possibly.
And then Emily says, potentially, I just want to read my own book, just need the author to fucking finish it. Yes, the author needs to fucking finish it, Emily.
Look, strong
Yeah.
same. But like the last couple of times they've mentioned lighting design on YouTube and gone off on tangents, everyone's just like, yes, do more videos about that. And I think it's because I will come up with like all these random interesting tangents and rambles about different stuff light does.
Well, your last random rant, you know, showing us with the lighting, that is the reason my lighting is so nice tonight, because I have the light facing away from me and lighting off, glowing off the wall behind me.
That. See the little things you pick up. I talked about in the last ramble we did on a stream with Renee and Emily. I think it was like a gas bag stream or something. I talked about how you can light stuff using rebound and you get a softer, sort of nice, more natural light.
We got our we had one hooked up onto Fishbutt for a long time. It's one of those lights that has like an arm, so it's like you can move it around. And so I've directed it into the corner that I have, and that's what's pushing the light. And you'll notice I don't actually have shadows. Well, I have shadows, but I don't have like the one-sided shadow. Yeah. And that's because
anyway, I actually have a video that I've got notes that I need to put together and film tomorrow, talking about lighting and writing. All that rhymed.
I do believe you said, what should I say about writing? And I think my response was everything. Yeah,
I got one. I think yours was pretty much the only response I got to that poll, but I got some questions off Discord.
A lot of people
were like, tell me everything.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people don't understand how important lighting is. Like, I must admit, I didn't really take lighting into account when I was writing the first draft. But since you mentioned it and I'm going through my second draft, I'm going, shit, I use the lighting in the bridge a lot, because the way the light comes in through the window, plus the console lights and all the little bells and whistles in the bridge, I must have been using it subconsciously.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now that I know it, I can bring it forward and make it more prominent.
Pardon?
Now I know that I'm doing it, I can actually bring it forward and make it more prominent.
Yeah. Or you can do subtle things with it as well that you might not have thought to do otherwise, which is cool.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's because lighting, lighting is paramount to using sight.
Yeah.
So using sight. And I've already been using smell, because I have the main characters are a slightly different breed to human. So smell is actually very important. And it's not, I'm not describing the smell. I'm just saying, they detect this, or they detect that. I'm not sitting there going, it smelled like raspberries and vodka.
Smells like raspberries and vodka.
Yeah, maybe.
Sounds nice. I'd get that if I had any vodka, but I don't. I've got gin. I do gin and raspberries.
Oh, gin and raspberries, awesome. Oh, I love gin. Gin's better. Gin's better than vodka. I just love the aniseed. Anyway, we were talking about Mistborn at some point.
We were. Lighting in Mistborn, the red sun. Oh shit.
Yes. Yes. Well, let's talk about
the description.
Oh, yes, Emily, let me email you the link. You talk about lighting and I'll email Emily the link.
I'll talk about lighting till the cows come home.
Go for it.
One of the things I really like is they show the way a flippant description, well, what could be a flippant description in another book of the red sun impacts the rest of the world. So it's really well thought out and detailed. Also, morning, Eva, welcome. So they start off with mentioning the clouds of ash and the red sun, and then later on, further into the book, they mention that all of the plant life is brown instead of green. And Vin, the main character, cannot imagine
green.
What it would look like if everything was actually green. Like she has this internal thoughts about it going, I literally cannot imagine that as a concept. Like it makes no sense because it has been this way for so long. And I think it's been like 1,000 years.
Yeah.
1,000 years.
Plants have had to evolve. So 1,000 years, and this is actually interesting because being from the other side, this has been a fantasy. Going to the sci-fi side, you got to create so many planets, and they've obviously got different suns and things like that. So it's interesting to see. Like I don't think I've gotten up to that bit, but I can't. But that will be interesting from a fantasy point of view as opposed to a scientific sci-fi point of view, as into how they describe it and what it is.
One thing I did find interesting is that they don't have flowers, but they have fruit. And so I'm curious, I think like it's just not something that really came up in correlation. But I was like, for plants to have fruit, they have to have flower to first pollinate and have fruit. So that might still happen in some sort of variation. But like decorative flowers no longer exist because there's a whole thing with like a picture of a drawing picture of a flower, and they believe that if they can fix the world, whatever's wrong with the world that's causing these ash clouds and everything, then the plant life may come back, and that's mentioned in one point. I don't think Renee's up to that point yet.
No, I'm not up to that point yet. No, because they're still in the city, and I believe that.
A belief of one certain character who's not actually physically on screen is like mentioned as this person held this belief in the past.
Well, it must be. I do, because I do know a little bit about it because I have listened to a lot of I've watched a lot of Brandon's his talks,
his lectures.
His lectures. Thank you. That good word is good. And he does talk a lot about Mistborn, and so I do know a bit about it that I haven't actually read because as I said, I'm not fussed about spoilers. So if he's describing something, goes, this happened in Mistborn and it's been out for this many years, so if you haven't read it yet, then it's a spoiler. It doesn't bother me. But it's sort of, I do find the way he develops that sort of, when it went from what happens if the hero failed.
That is, yes. Oh, when you get to the end, you're gonna love it. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Because I just remembered one of the reveals that you don't know about yet.
Well, see, I know. I sort of know. So, I don't know exactly how they do it.
What to do, though.
Sorry?
Because it's like a twist that, like, yeah. Oh, I'm excited for you to finish it so that I can actually talk about it without worrying about, like, because I know you're not worried about spoilers per se, but I'm just like, I wanna see your reaction to not knowing that going in because it was so good going in not knowing it.
So you're just going to eventually one day get this little in our chat, get this little sort of what the fuck gif. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, what was I saying? Something about something. Oh, we've been going for an hour already.
Yeah, we can gas bag. We can gas bag.
We can talk endlessly. Mind you, we have not been talking about this the entire time. So
I finished English. I can gas bag about a book I've never read. Trust me.
I did an entire degree in theatre and performance, otherwise known as the art of making shit up and bullshitting your way through academia with great proficiency.
Yes. I can
bullshit about anything. I can talk about whatever endlessly. If anyone needs anyone to ramble incessantly for an inane amount of time, just hit me up. I like talking. It's fun.
Oh dear. So anyway, I reckon so far we've had 6 votes, so I reckon we'll call it. Oh no, sorry, 5 votes. We've had 1 for June and we've had 4 for the 5th season.
Looks like we're doing the 5th season.
It does indeed.
I've heard so many good things about this. I'm excited.
Well, I love the Thousand Kingdoms. I absolutely love that book. I didn't read any of the sequels, but I discovered Thousand Kingdoms when it was nominated for the Hugos, because I bought it again this year, but I used to buy the associate membership for Worldcon every year, which give you samples of, or even entire books of all of the books that have been nominated for all the Hugos.
Nice.
So, including like all the comics and everything, and the fan art, fan books. I love it. So you pay about, usually about $160 or something, or $80 or whatever it is that year, depending on what country it's in. And you get literally all of it, and you have the right to vote, which I really should actually put my voting, because I've got about a week left to do that. So yeah.
Anything I would know? Not that I'm on top of new.
I haven't actually looked at a lot of it. Let me bring it up. But some of it's I got suckered into one of the comics actually. I really did get suckered.
I really want to do. Should we add some of Schlock Mercenary to our potential read list?
Oh yes.
Like maybe a volume or something like that.
Because own the first 5 books.
I think I started this tangent like 15 minutes ago and never finished it. But I don't know what it is, but I struggle to actually read physical books these days. Like audiobooks are a lot easier for me to get through. If there's some books that I'm able, if they're ones that really grab me straight away and pull me in and I don't want to put it down and I'm really, really enjoying it, then I can get through a physical one. So the ones that I've gotten through in physical copy lately, Leah on the Offbeat, If Only by Melanie Murphy I got through pretty quickly. That was really good. And The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So I got through all of those physical. But all the ones we've done for this book club, I've gotten through the audiobook. But the audiobooks were really good.
Yeah. You're not going to believe this, but N.K. Jemison's actually got a novelette in the Hugos this year.
I'm not surprised, actually.
Short story. See, I don't know a lot of these names. I've been out of sort of the more literary sci-fi and fantasy for a long time, and so I haven't really I don't really know a lot of these names. Luna, why does that sound familiar? Luna is in for series. That's a series name. Wormwood Trilogy. Tade Thompson.
Oh, I know that name.
Yeah, I do too. Best graphic stories have Die, LaGuardia, Monstrous. Now, Monstrous is the one I got suckered into because they got all 4 volumes that you can read. Wicked and the Divine. Now, who's that by? Kieran Gillian and Jamie McKelvey. That name's familiar. Editors, fanzines, Galactic Journey, Journey Planet, Nerds of a Feather. There's quite a few good ones in there at the moment.
This is all Nerds of a Feather.
Yeah.
I love that title. Oh gosh, my leg is falling asleep. Crisscross like this.
Yeah. Oh. No, there's some really good. I love it. The reason I buy it most years, I didn't buy it for about 10 years. But the reason I get it is because it introduces you to so many new authors. It's amazing because it's just this huge, like, oh, here's a whole pile of authors for you to actually read an excerpt of their stuff, and you can decide if you really like them or not.
I think the most I know of, is it the Hugo? I don't actually know if it was the Hugo now. Maybe it was. I don't know. But I started reading a book called Girl on the Page. I would not recommend it. It's the only book I've started reading in DNF this year. Or since I started reading again in the last year or so anyway. But they were talking about, it was like set in the literary world. And so like they were talking about like books getting nominated. I think it was for the Hugo and like the short list and whatever, and like buying all the books to read through all the nominees or whatever it was. And so I got like a little bit of insight into the whole process from that. The book itself that was about all that, it was annoyingly bad in that the premise was good and had so much potential to be good if it wasn't written by a man who didn't know how to write female characters. And it just pissed me off so much. And also there was huge issues with the representation and the way that, like, so they had some black characters in there and they had like some female characters in there, and they all had like unfortunate endings, and the only character who came out on top was the straight white man. And I was just like, fuck off.
Yeah,
fuck off.
Yeah.
Stop it. Just stop it.
See,
anyway.
I'm actually finding, for some strange reason, when it comes to fiction, audiobooks. But when it comes to textbooks, so, you know, books about certain subjects, I really need the physical book. I don't know why.
I used to make Google Translate read me some of my readings for uni because I just would fall asleep trying to read them physically.
Yeah, they could be dry.
Yeah. Also, yes, just message me and I'll get it when I wake up and respond.
Yeah, by all means, just message.
Yeah. I'm down for chats. Also, I know Dal is really into Norse mythology and I really want to like nerd out about that. I really need to like deep dive back into Norse mythology because I haven't done a proper deep dive since grade 4.
Yeah.
Other than like reading a few of the myths every few years.
I want to read the Neil Gaiman one.
Oh, I bought a signed copy of that for Dad because I went and saw Neil and Amanda live in March. It was the last live show I saw before Corona hit. It was an amazing day because we did like an ice bath in the morning, and then like with Amanda and Patreon and stuff, we did an ice bath all together, and it was so incredible. And then I met all these really amazing people. And one of the people who I met that day actually is the one that I sent you guys the Patreon page for as an example, Sam the Sword person. So we then all went and met up at the show again, all these people who'd done the ice bath, and we were hanging out at the show. And then after the show, there was like 4 of us just like hanging around chatting outside the theater till literally about like 12:30 a.m. By which point we realized, oh shit, there's no more trains.
Yeah, you don't know.
Like, we're either gonna have to pay $40 for an Uber home, or like work out something. And Sam was just like, do you want to come couch surf? And I was just like, you know what? I think I will. So I was literally like, just had such a great night. And then we were chatting literally on. When I said I can talk for ages, we were talking non-stop just about whatever random crap came up from the end of the show, which was probably around 10 o'clock, maybe 11 o'clock, till around 4:30 in the morning when we were finally like, we should sleep now.
Yes, been there, done that.
We woke up at maybe like 8 or 9 and kept going for another few hours. It was great. Wait, Orla uploaded. What did Orla upload? Did Orla upload a video? Someone tell me what's happening. I must know. Is this a Discord message that I've missed?
I do not know.
Anything on Discord. Random sidetrack.
Yes.
It's not ready. Okay. Orla, tell us when it's ready and we'll binge it.
We'll binge it.
There.
Yeah.
Where did I start this tangent? I've completely lost track of what I was talking about. And it definitely wasn't Mistborn.
I think we started with lighting and we just went from there.
Oh, no, I was talking about reading.
That's
right. Yeah. So I used to read a lot of physical books all the time. And then since uni and that whole mindfuck, I can't really read physical books as easily as I used to be able to.
Oh.
And I'm not sure why it is, but I just don't seem to have the concentration to be able to get through them anymore.
Did you ever get at uni? Okay, so when I did uni, it was like the early 2000s. Did you ever get at uni, like you go and pay $150 for this freaking book? You get it home and it's an A4 book and you think, okay, it's got a cover on it, it's readings for the speculative fiction class of blah, 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 blah. You open it up and it's photocopies.
Yeah. I stopped buying. So I only ever had to buy books in first year. And after that, I did entirely theatre subjects.
Yeah.
And then I did buy some of the books, but they were actual books. Like you would buy for literature
like
or whatever.
Writing and the theory of this or something, yeah.
Yeah, no, not so much. I used to access a lot through online library resources or the library books.
Didn't have them when I was at uni.
I got a lot from the library or any play texts. So something like a book of Ibsen plays or whatever, I would invest in that. So I've still got quite a few of them. But I did have to buy philosophy texts and history texts for first year and literature, I think. And it cost I'd get 3 or 4 books that would cost me $150, $200. And those and then you can't even resell them because then they change it for the next year. And then,
this one was, okay. This is why I can't really read physical books anymore, I think, because you'd open it up and it wasn't even just a photocopy. It was someone had photocopied a photocopy of a photocopy, and then they've given it to the printer and the printer's printed it out, and it's this big on an A4 page.
Mm.
And you're like,
a little better than that, but still.
I've got this book, and the excerpt is something that I probably owned anyway. It was because I did writing at Deakin for about a year and a half, failed miserably because I hated uni, and I ended up going to work for Easy DVD and becoming a manager there and had a hell of a lot more fun and a lot more money. And it was just astounded me that I'm spending this money on stuff. And I think the justification was they were paying for the rights to reproduce the work. And I'm like, well, wouldn't it just be cheaper for us to go and buy all the books?
Yeah, probably. But also, the good thing about my theatre studies course was that they gave us a lot of the readings in PDF version, so we could just read them on the computer or print them off ourselves, and we didn't have to pay for books.
Yeah. I figure when the little fella's going to school, he's going to have a laptop and a tablet, the tablet to read everything on and the laptop to actually do his work.
Yeah. And then library cards. Get as many library cards as you can and get BorrowBox or the apps that let you log in with your library account and access audiobooks and ebooks for free.
Yeah, I can't figure that out. I got my library with our new council. Bear in mind, we've been living here for a year and a half, and it's still the new council, and I still haven't figured out how to log into their website.
Oh shit! I'm doing this the wrong way.
Hang on, guys. Okay, have we drawn our special signal on the floor? Have we got our cup of tea?
Sarah Dumas
needs to be mentioned.
Tea. And it worked.
This chat about Mistborn has pretty much just come a good old Chaos Cut Discord.
Yeah,
pretty much.
At least we're fulfilling half of the criteria. I feel like it's partially because I just don't want to drop any spoilers because I know you haven't finished it.
And I just dropped my yarn ball and my cat stole it. Excuse me.
Welcome, Emmy. Makeup is looking freaking great. Also, that reminds me, ages ago we were talking about doing the makeup collab thing that we didn't really work out the things for, and it reminded me I need to go to Spotlight and get the Bruise Wheel thing. We'll just start an order online and get them posted to me and pay like the exorbitant shipping fees. Spotlight's shipping, like postage fee, is so expensive, and I was like, I know it doesn't cost this much because I send parcels every day.
It'll be part of the
it's ridiculous.
But like to get like one little thing costs like almost $20. It's like that's how much we charge for express post Australia wide. Like
when I was working for Spotlight, I had to order in some pre-cut curtains from Western Australia because over in Western Australia they have bigger windows. They have the 240 drops, not the 210 drops, and I needed 240 drops for this customer, and from store to store it still cost us a friggin' fortune.
Oh god.
Yeah. That's what you get for ordering shit from WA.
Oh,
get it from your own damn state.
Yeah, but they only had 210 drops. We wanted 240s.
Fair.
Yes, I can get you. I am the person that walks into your house and judges you by your window furnishings. I am sorry. It is just ingrained into me.
You would hate mine. I literally just have like Kmart curtains.
Are they
that
block
don't
out?
even reach the floor. I have like block out like roller blinds. So
yeah.
The curtains are just there to stop the sun coming in the side.
Yeah, we won't discuss your Venetians, Charlotte. We will not discuss your Venetians.
In my defense, they came with them, and I'm renting, and I don't think I really get a say in changing them.
Well, you know what? This is one thing I really don't understand. This is just completely tangent. Sorry, guys. But why do rental people think Venetian blinds are actually smart? They break easily. They are dust hazard. They have no light blockage whatsoever.
They are not kid friendly.
Well, every rental I go into has them. Not that, they're also a choking hazard because the one you pull down to lift them all the way up, you have to stand there and put on its safety hook, or it just sits there and hangs. Sorry, curtain rant over. Sorry, guys.
I have to agree with every single one of those points. And don't tell my landlord, but I've already broken the one in my room.
They're so easy to break. Honestly, if you haven't, I'd be surprised.
The only thing that's broken is really annoying. It's a tiny little bit of plastic that's cracked. That means you can't like lock them in when you pull them up because it pops up the things. And I think it's because I left them up over a weekend without putting them on.
If you can get it out, take that piece out, take it to Spotlight, go to the furnishing team and ask them if they have a replacement because the furnishing team has a whole pile of parts underneath their desks that they used to. I mean, I haven't worked for Spotlight for about 4 years now. But
I can get it out because I've tried to fix it before and I managed to pull all the little pieces out. And I was able to click it back into place, but because it's cracked, it just popped out again.
Yeah.
So
you might have to get a replacement for it. Yeah, see, random shit you learn when you watch one of Renee's streams. Sorry, people.
Either way, when they do the inspection after we move out, A, it will count as general wear and tear in my book, I hope.
Yes.
B, they probably won't check that detail because the blinds look fine. So as long as you don't pull them and try to like lock them up, it looks fine.
Oh, I know the piece you're talking about. Yes, you should be able to get a replacement for them, and it'll probably only cost you $1 or $2.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like a little piece of clear plastic that holds the round bits in place.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've got to get Spotlight once we're allowed out. Well, I mean, I technically probably would be allowed out to go to Spotlight or Officeworks at the moment, but I don't have my car and I don't want to go on public transport, so I'm going to have to wait till end of lockdown again now. But I wanted to go and get like the special effects makeup stuff from Spotlight. Also, I'm in the mood to just...
Is Orla starting a channel?
I think so, yeah.
I missed a bunch of stuff while I was reading, while I was standing there while Dan read Aiden a book. Yeah, I'm not jumping on that shitstorm.
Available in Australia? Is that something we can use in Australia? Because we've got BorrowBox, which is a library one.
Yeah, no, I have Libby. It works with my library.
Yeah. I still haven't figured out my libraries app, so I don't know how I'm going to go with the add-ons.
See, I'm lucky in that I've moved so much that I actually have 3 active library cards for different regions.
Oh, love it.
So I've got Eastern Regional, I've got Monash, where I am, and I've got Goldfields up with Mum and Dad.
Nice.
And I'll probably lose Eastern Regional in the next few years because they ask you once you have to renew it. I don't know whether they'll ask for address proof again. Like, although I've managed to keep the Goldfields ones until I was like 8 or 9 years old, even though I moved away for a while. But I guess we still have the property out there, so maybe that's why.
Well, I used to laugh. I was in the same shire, the same council for nearly 30 years. And I was about 28, and I walk into my old library. And they're like, I'm doing the library card. Now, my library card worked this entire time. Mine was still the paper that got slotted into the little plastic sleeve. It was still working. And she just sort of went, we're going to need to issue you a new card. I said, why? It still works. She goes, you just updated the system. They don't work anymore.
I still have. So the library up where my parents are, when I got my first card, the library cards were made out of paper with a barcode printed, and it's got my mum's signature on the back because I was not legally allowed to sign my own card at that age. That's why I got this card, and I still have the same card, and then it's laminated. So it's laminated with a card. Mine was like plastic cards, but
mine was the plastic sleeve that you would use like for a business card or something, and they just slipped it inside. So after everything, and it was all handwritten. That's brilliant. That was great. It was great. Tell me the barcode, and the barcode was scannable. It was like a sticker.
The funny thing is, the amount of times I've borrowed stuff from the library without having my library card, because I'll walk up to the counter and be like, I want to get this out. I don't have my card with me, but I know what the number is. Because I've memorized the barcode number. Since I was about 10 years old.
I used to just tell them my name and they would be able to look me up. So
I can just tell them the number, they punch it in, because it's the same number you use to log in when you log into the online thing. And I've had that memorized that I can type it in. If there's like the little square number pad, I can type it in like a few seconds, because the amount of times I was at the library after school and pulling your library card out of your bag is such a hassle when you just want to check the catalog and reserve stuff. There's I don't want to know. I've memorized that library card, and I kind of memorized the other two as well, but not as well.
When did we get a movie thing in the Discord?
About 3 or 4 days ago, I think.
I'm so keen for this.
I've been waiting for Emily to get in on that one.
I haven't been on Discord for days. I've been slightly avoiding it because I didn't want to go through the rabbit hole.
Okay. I actually used to be on Jenna Marassi's Discord, and I'm no longer a patron of hers, and I removed myself because the guys on there are fine, but I ended up having to mute messages from Discord on my laptop, on my phone, because it was just too much. And I would end up going in there, and you'd go in there even an hour after you've been in there, and there would be 100 unread messages.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know what? I missed the conversation. I'm done. I'm not. I can't.
Yeah, I think when there gets to be too many people, it'll kind of lose its. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was bonkers.
I just got to the point where I was like waking up and spending half an hour just catching up on the messages I'd missed while I was asleep, and so I was like, "Fuck that."
Yeah.
No, I got to the point where, okay, look, if I've missed a conversation, I've missed a conversation. I'm not going back and reading it. I can't. It's just too much. Because you have Instagram, you have Discord, you have Facebook, you have here YouTube, you have. I mean, some people have Twitter. I don't. It just gets to a point where there is a point where you just got to stop, and you just got to say, well, I'm going to miss a conversation. I'm sorry, but I missed it.
Yeah. Fuck, I messed up.
That.
Oh.
I just don't get notifications on my phone either, and I don't know how to change that.
It's in your settings. It's a mute function, I think. See, so I've actually deliberately muted my Discord on my phone. I can't. I just have to.
It's hard with all the different time zones, I think. I think that's the worst part is just dealing with the different time zones. But, yeah. I mean, I don't think any of these conversations are really that important.
No, exactly.
I mean, it's great. Everyone's great on there. Well done. Lovely.
Yeah. Don't mind me. I just realized I missed 4 stitches and did them in planing. I should have been purling them last row, so I've got to switch them over before I can keep going.
So you guys were talking about things that have aged badly before. I have to tell you about the short story I read today. So
I saw your thing about it. Was it that bad?
What did I say about it?
Oh, you're just saying you're going to read the short story that was the mummy. Was it that one?
Yes. I'll give you a little, little thing to my video. My next book film thing video is about the mummy. And today I read a short story about like a mummy, a curse, a pyramid thing. And then I watched the 1932 mummy movie and then the 1999 mummy movie, which I really didn't need to watch again because I've seen that thing so many times in my life.
But it's a mummy.
You have to watch it again. Yeah. I literally watched it last week, and then today I was like, I may watch it again, I might not, and then I literally watched the whole thing.
No, it's worth watching it. And again,
so this short story, as I just have this book of like a bunch of Victorian penny dreadfuls. There's just like a bunch of little short stories and stuff in here, and there's one in here called Lost in a Pyramid or The Mummy's Curse, and it's by Louisa May Alcott. And if that name sounds familiar to you, it's because it's the same author as The Little Women.
Oh, it is too. Yes.
Which I didn't know. And then I Googled and I was like, wait, what the fuck? She wrote a horror story about a mummy? But yeah. So reading this, it was fine. It was whatever. It wasn't the best. It was meh. But what threw me off was there's a female character introduced at the start. Her name is Evelyn, and I didn't think there was any connection between this story and like the Mummy movies, except for that name. That's like the only yay, cat butt. Only connection is the name Evelyn. And then so this character Evelyn is kind of like described as being a child and being, you know, just acting like a child, how children do, playing and that kind of thing. And then like the next part of the story, you find out that she is the main male character's cousin, which is fine. That's fine. All good. It's all good. And then you find out in the next paragraph, they're getting married. I was like,
used to happen.
I know. And I was just like, okay. So, because she's literally described by the narrator as half child, half woman. So I would take that as early teens. And then in the next like chapter or the next like couple pages, they're getting married and they're cousins. And I was just like, okay, that's enough Victorian stories for me.
I'm done.
Because this was the Mummy one was written in 1888, I think.
Yeah.
And I was like,
well, even what is it? Jane Austen's era, which was around about 1800s. It wasn't uncommon for cousins to marry to keep the money. Family.
Jane Austen, I think, was early 1900s, wasn't she?
I'm not sure.
Guardian?
Okay. But even her, like, it's perfectly acceptable for Mr. Collins to literally propose to first cousins because that was just what you did to keep money in the family.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, it's not uncommon. It's not tasteful, but it's not uncommon, unfortunately, in that era.
Yeah. Well, okay, Brandon, in this defense, I mean, this is a book. I'm sure you're talking about the movies. But yeah, this was written in the 1800s, most of these stories. So, oh God, I don't want to know.
I'm just going to sit in my corner and knit.
Yeah.
That's comfortable.
Yeah.
Knit with my hand-dyed yarn. It's coming up.
For anyone who was at one of the previous streams, I know some of them were here, you'll be happy to know that we have the beginnings of a team coming together for Gaiman.
Ooh, exciting.
So before this stream, I was on like video chat with Stephen for about 40 minutes, I think, like nerding out about all of the stuff, and we made a list of all the things to research before Monday when we're going to catch up and chat. And I was like, oh, we could get this other friend of ours on, and then I messaged her and was like, hey, I've got a show to pitch to you, and then just sent, I was like, it's a cabaret about this, and just sent the link to the Wikipedia page. And her response was like, oh my God, that's hilarious. I'm in.
So excited.
I realized I had another message from her, so I was replying to that in the middle of a stream while you guys keep chatting.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Yeah, we just found out that yet another one of our community's events has officially been cancelled for the year. Fully expecting the big one to be cancelled very soon. I mean, I cannot see them being able to set up the venue with the current social distancing rules. And yes, it is in January, but I can't see much changing before then.
No.
I'm hoping by this time next year we're able to get shows on again, because that's when the Adelaide Cabaret Festival is scheduled, and that's what we're planning to pitch for. Yeah.
We've actually, I was talking to the rest of the committee today, we've got to set up the AGM for our not-for-profit. And I'm like, Let me go and reread the current rules on AGMs because you normally have to have it open to the public.
Mm.
And I'm like,
could you have a live stream open to the public?
Yeah, what I think we can do as a solution, because there's only 4 of us on the committee anyway. So I reckon what we can do as a solution is literally just stream to our Facebook page.
Yeah.
You know, and say, well, you know, go for it. You know, come and join if you want. I mean, we're just
anything they want to raise in the comments.
Yeah, saying well, we didn't make any money this year because we can't run our event. So, kind of in negatives, but yeah, what do you do? What do you do?
Brandon, if you really like history and Egypt and stuff, you have to follow a channel called Vintage Egyptologist.
Nice.
Because she is amazing. It's this, her name is Dr. Colleen Darnell, and her husband John dress in full 1920s vintage, and they're like insanely intelligent, very well educated Egyptologists, and the videos that they put out are fucking amazing. And she did a video with another vintage YouTuber called Rachel Makesy, and they watched The Mummy together, and this Egyptologist was just like riffing into the movie because like the first scene they're talking about Thebes, and they do this like pan of this ancient Egyptian city, and it zooms in on the pyramids, and she's like, no, you wouldn't see the pyramids from Thebes for starters. Yeah. And some of the archaeology was wrong for the time and whatever that they were trying to do, but like it was just it's the funniest video watching this Egyptologist just like like side eye this movie. But she has like a full vintage like Instagram, and she's obviously in Egypt a lot, so it'll just be her in like full like exactly what you would imagine an Egyptologist would wear in the 1920s, like walking through ruins in Egypt, telling you about like the ruins and what they're there, and I was just like, oh, you're amazing and I love you. She's everything that I aspired to be when I was a child.
Oh, I used to want to be an Egyptologist and a marine engineer and and something else and
yeah, mine was just Egyptologist or Darth Vader. That was it. That was all I wanted to be.
See, I had a lot of different career jumping betweens, and then I settled on actress because then I could be all of them. But interested, and I could switch to something else when I got bored.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I figured writer was good because of pretty much the same thing. I could just research the shit out of anything I was interested in at the time.
That's fair. I think when I got to high school, I kind of thought about other things. I was still like kind of on the Egyptologist thing, and then I realized I wasn't very smart, so probably couldn't do that. And then I wanted to do graphic design. I left high school, did graphic design, hated well, I didn't hate graphic design. I hate corporate graphic design. Yeah, and that's pretty much, that's all there is in WA. And I was like, okay, well, fuck that shit. I'm not moving interstate. I'm not like going international or whatever. So, so I then thought about game design. And then I realized I'd have to learn coding, and I was like,
I have a bone to pick. Emily, you're not smart. You had shit teachers. There's a difference.
Bingo. I was going to bring that up myself.
I had to wait until you stopped talking.
Maybe.
Look, if you weren't smart, you wouldn't have managed to put enough words together to create a how many thousands of words novel so far?
Oh, don't remind me. Yeah, but that's still like you could still go back and I don't know. I'm pretty sure some of these writers are pretty fucking dumb, just with some of the books that I've read recently.
Look, you're not wrong there.
Yes. 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 I love coding too. I used to know coding. I used to know it pretty much almost off by heart. I used to love it.
See, my partner knows. He knows Python. I'm pretty sure.
Yes,
and he wants to learn more, but like, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could sit there and.
I couldn't do it now. I couldn't do it now, but I used to love it.
My housemate is in software engineering, so she's like applying for all the internships with like Amazon and Google and Microsoft.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
I'm just like, yes, go work for Google and bring me home donuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to do more of like the character, like the 3D character modeling and designing and stuff like that. But maybe in the future.
What I wanted to do was, because I looked at gaming as well, but I wanted to write a story. I love 3D design, and I was happy to design the characters or world or whatever, but I wanted to write the story because I used to get so shitty about sitting there playing a game and seeing a bloody sentence with grammatical errors.
Yes.
Yes. When you said like the 3D character design, I remember like walking into the kitchen one day and Bree's there with her laptop and she's like, look what I made. And she shows me this animation that she's been working on for the last like 5 of this man's face head thing that she was making up of a character design. And all I could think was it looked like those blobfish that you see.
Yeah.
And they pointed it out to her, and then she couldn't unsee it either. And they just sent her a photo of the blobfish that you find on Google, and that's like imagine like an old man face that looks like that. That's what she'd been animating. Like it was really good, but I was still just like she was just like that wasn't what I was aiming for.
Oh no. Oh, I'm going to have to soon. I've got this much left.
Oh, no.
I can't be fucked balling up the next game.
I guess that means it's time for us to do some writing sprints. We haven't talked about Mistborn for the last at least half an hour.
Well, we avoided talking about Mistborn. I do apologise, guys, because I really did want to finish it, but it hit last night. We were on Danny's stream and I realised I still had 19 hours to go and I knew that just wasn't happening.
That's fair.
Yeah.
We might have to revisit this when I actually get around to finishing it. We might revisit it and just chat about it a bit then.
Yeah. Yeah, we can talk about it in a future book club one. We can do like a Mistborn stream about something about like
once I read it.
Mistborn's a good one to talk about world building. I can't talk world building actually.
Yeah, I think what I have heard, what I've listened to so far, I do enjoy his world building because he does it the way I like doing it. He throws you into the story and only throws you tidbits every now and again to make you go, oh, I didn't thought of that, man. Okay, cool, thank you. You know, I do
like Sarah J. Maas, who tried to fucking give you a whole world in the first 90 pages of prologue.
I honestly, like, if people do that, I'm just like, I don't fucking care anymore.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not going to remember this unless it's relevant to the part that I'm reading right now. If it's not relevant to what I'm reading right now, I don't care.
Yeah. What was it? Was it you, Emily, that put up? Who was it that put up the post saying, you know, I'm having, you know, you cut out everything that's not plot. But
yeah, that was Emily.
Yeah, the thing about cut out everything that's not plot, but no wonder you know, but you got to have some kind of world.
You got to have some moments.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what did I say? I can't.
That was interesting as well because I was reading that going, ooh, that's that's a good point, because like I haven't done that yet, but that was something that I may fall into the risk of doing, because I definitely
on my phone.
I don't know. I think I will avoid that, hopefully, by sprinkling in all of the disjointed flashbacks and memories.
And is this the uninterested in
intrigue and interest
that
sort of keep you caring? Because I start off my one. I don't world build really at all, other than setting description, but it could be like you wouldn't necessarily know it's sci-fi straight away from the first scene, until they start mentioning, until you get to the mind tech stuff, you wouldn't know, and that's in like maybe the first or second chapter that you get to that, maybe the second chapter, but the first scene is like a chase scene where you like straight in media res, and there's elements sprinkled through, but it's definitely not giving any info dump at the start.
I think I can't remember what post you're talking about.
I think it's someone else. One
of the posts that I would like to talk about was the one that was like why I'm uninterested in books and reading, and it was just like how fast paced everything is, how there's no like breaking things. Oh, okay. You guys might have read further in that post than I did. I got what I wanted out of it, and then I was done. But that I think that is my issue with books at the moment, is that everything is so streamlined. You know, it's here's the start, here's the middle, here's the end, just zoop. And it's like, but I need the down times. I need the character development, the building, the world building, and I think there's a lot of books that are missing that. But then when people are like, oh, books are missing that nowadays, we need to add that in. And then they do what Sarah J. Maas did, and they overdo it. And they're like, oh, people are missing the world building at the start of books. Here's a 90 fucking page prologue full of just fucking world building and some dumb characters that are going to die in 5 seconds that you already know die because it's in the fucking blurb of the book.
Down. Queen of rants.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. I think it's I think there's a problem with the fact that we have to compete with movies. People are trying to compete with movies by being a movie in written form. And
things that books can do that movies can't do.
Yes, the very subtle things, like the subtle hint that a character is, scratches here every, whenever they're nervous or something, and then you find out 5 chapters later they're scratching there because they got something implanted or something. It's you can do really subtle things in books that you can't do in movies. But I do think, like, I love movies, don't get me wrong. I absolutely adore movies, and pretty much most of my story consumption these days is movies. But I fall into that trap too, because you think, oh, you got to keep going, no, just breathe.
Yeah.
See, I feel like you can write a book. Hang on, how do I word this? You can write a book like a movie, like, if you know what I mean by that. You still have to have the right amount of world building and pacing and quiet moments, and I think maybe not so much a movie, a TV show. You can write a book like you write a TV show.
A short story makes a good movie.
Yeah. Have you ever attempted a screenplay? No. I want to. I would love to.
I'm actually tempted to try write Supernatural Flatmates as a TV show script. But I have to work out like how to do that because I have no idea at this stage.
I think with a TV show, you'll have to be careful just because there's Being Human.
Well, the thing is, I haven't seen Being Human. I've seen little bits of it, but it's very different from what
It is different because your guys are like only hiding it from the flatmate, but they're still actively like being what they are.
Yeah.
Whereas Being Human is them hiding it and trying to be as normal human as they possibly can.
Yeah.
So there's that difference.
They're still being supernatural. They're obviously trying not to raise too much suspicion in the outside world. Yeah. But then, so like for the first, I don't know whether if it was a TV show, whether it would be the first episode or the first season, is them trying to hide it from their human flatmate.
I would say the pilot.
They keep losing flatmates when they find out that they're not human.
Yeah. I feel like it would be a great like.
I reckon that'd be like a great pilot.
Pardon?
Yeah, but I feel like the whole thing would be a really good fuck.
Where's a hard
you know those like not limited
miniseries?
Like miniseries. Yeah. That.
Yeah.
Good miniseries.
Something like Good Omens, like maybe 6 episodes.
Yeah, something like that.
This is a pet peeve of mine. I love miniseries, but I can't deal with like supernatural length seasons because I lose interest or I get distracted and I don't have the energy to keep going through that many episodes.
See, so I only lose interest if the filler episodes are shit.
Yeah, see, I hate filler episodes.
I watch so much anime, so I'm like,
I can't stand them.
Yeah. See, because I mean, look, we want to talk about filler episodes. I've watched all of Naruto and most of Naruto Shippuden. That is like the king of filler episodes. So if I can sit through that, I can sit through some pretty shit filler episodes.
Yeah.
But when they're really bad, then I stop watching.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much where I got with Shippuden and why I stopped watching that.
Yeah. No, and also too, like Eva, yes, you're correct. To me, my novel was originally written as a screenplay. It was actually completed as a screenplay, and I tossed it all out and started again. But I totally agree. You don't have anywhere near as much control as what you do as a novel, and it very much is an outline. It's he said, she said, he said, she said, and that's pretty much it. That's the scene.
Yeah, I've written play scripts, so I think they're probably quite similar in a way, but the limitations of what you can write are a lot more when you're writing for the stage because you've got to be able to stage it somehow.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a dick writer who's just like hands the script to the director and says, "This is your problem now. You figure out how to make these two characters' faces melt together when they kiss."
Yeah. Well, you can pretty much just say she shows affection, but it's up to the director and the actors to come up with how that person shows affection.
Yeah.
When you're writing the same scene in a novel, you're saying, well, okay, how does that person show, what do they do, what how do they lean towards him or whatever, or lean towards her, you don't know. But yeah, so the reason I tossed out my screenplay was literally that exact problem. I am a control freak.
See, the thing is, if I wrote it as a series, it would be a mini series, but I'd actually then want to try and make it.
Yeah.
And I probably could if I learned how to do it and got like enough of people that I know
if
involved.
You go through Hollywood, the Australian government will fund it for you, but they won't fund their own fucking projects.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually,
I thought they brought out an American show to be filmed in Australia, but they like don't fund so many Australian shows.
Yeah, and we won't go there. That's again. I know someone who that's going to benefit because they're a producer and they specialize in bringing in international talent into Australia to make Australian style films, but using the international talent. So it will benefit people like that, but I don't know how specifically. But yeah, it sucks. But yeah, what do you do?
Yeah, it's annoying. I'm waiting for oh god, no, I can't remember her name. Is it Piera Ford, the Australian booktuber? Do you guys watch her channel? She's fucking hilarious. Jeez, I don't think Aiden's going to bed tonight. Walls are being slammed. She made a is it Nevernight? I think so, by Jay Kristoff. She made the short film for that. That's actually award-winning now. And so she acted in it. I don't know if she wrote the script for it. Maybe she did. But she had she was a very big part of the whole thing being produced. And then she was starred in it. She was the main character. I'm waiting for her to make a video about all of that. Because she was like, even in her last video, she was so pissed off about like the cuts to the arts and everything that they did. So I'm super keen to see her reaction to all of that.
Well, it's actually quite funny because I can't think of his name, but I was watching ABC News this morning and they were interviewing the comedian that did that movie about being a plumber, the Australian.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's doing like a benefit or something tomorrow night. Like it's a huge like show benefit thing. And he was saying that it's been interesting that all these people keep he's fine. He runs companies. He has money. He's pretty good. But he has friends that don't have much money or haven't got a backing or anything. And he turned around and he said, yeah, as someone in the arts, it's great. You know, people keep messaging people I know and me saying, hey, we want you to do a benefit to help these people who don't have jobs. And it's like, yeah, we don't have jobs.
I saw this thing on Twitter recently. So because I'm very much, my Twitter is basically theatre arts people. It hasn't really morphed into writing as much because I never use it. Saw this thing. I wonder if I can find it actually because I retweeted one of them, I think. The Australian fucking government, on one of their government websites, their description of the arts industry. I'm gonna see if I can find it because, like, you gotta read it to believe it. It is fucked. Honestly. Like, this is okay. So we're talking about the Australian arts industry contributes, was it like $1 billion or $100 billion?
It's a lot of money every year.
In the billions of dollars to the economy every year, right?
And they've been shut down. They can't do anything.
They're
all completely locked down.
This is on a government site. This is on the joboutlooks.gov.au site. Arts and recreation services. This is their summary of the arts industry. Arts and recreation services is a small industry that includes museums, zoos, parks, botanical gardens, creative and performing arts, professional and recreational sports, amusement centers, and casinos. Who put all those together? What the fuck? Workers tend to be young and many do not have post-school qualifications. This industry includes professional sports persons who have many years of training. And then someone edited it in the, let me see if I can find in the replies. Someone, because I saw someone who like scribbled on it and fixed it.
People who work at zoos don't have qualifications. What?
Yes,
oh my god!
Arts and entertainment. Zoos aren't arts and entertainment.
No.
Here we go.
Why?
I found edited it where someone's like drawn on it, right, and corrected it. Basically, someone's like done the editor treatment to the government website. So it's like, this is their edited version. Arts and recreation services is a $111 billion plus industry that includes museums, zoos, parks, botanical gardens, creative and performing arts, professional and recreational sports, amusement centers, and casinos. Workers tend to be underpaid, even though many have post-school qualifications. This industry includes professional sports persons who, like artists, have many years of training. This attitude that you just saw summarized in our government website is what is killing all of like the arts industry workers at the moment, because this is our fucking government.
A lot aren't even eligible for JobKeeper or government help or anything.
Nope. And then, so just before all of this kicked off, I was at this brilliant day with a bunch of artists and whatever. And this was just after the bushfires. And we had this great discussion about how artists are constantly in the conundrum where whenever a disaster or catastrophe hits, they're the first people who want to help. They're the first people who are expected to help. And they're the first people out there doing benefits, fundraisers, all sorts of things, mobilizing art to help, like, create.
But what happens when they're the ones affected too?
Half the time they're being expected. So if you're an independent artist with an Etsy shop or whatever, living off of freelance off your art, and then suddenly a disaster hits and people are just like, oh, are you going to do half price prints for bushfire relief or whatever? And they're like, well, I want to, but I also have rent to pay and kids to feed and food to buy.
Yeah.
Like, we're already an industry that is underpaid and has, sorry, I'm in full rant mode now, enjoy. Already an industry that is underpaid, underfunded, relies a lot on scrounging what we can get from like independent freelancing. Plus, there's the whole perpetuated shit of like the starving artist stereotype being romanticized. Also, I have a theory that the romanticization of the starving artist is a capitalist ploy so that they don't have to pay for art, because art is used by big business in everything. All their marketing, all their media, everything involves some sort of art. And if it doesn't, it's shit. So like they need music, they need art to do like their graphic design and all that sort of stuff. So if they perpetuate and continue to perpetuate this stereotype of the starving artist as being romantic and that's what it should be like and whatever, they're just giving themselves an excuse to not pay their artists properly.
Exactly.
Like, pay your artist. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway,
where did I start?
Bushfire relief. So then you've got these people who are already some of the least financially stable as soon as a catastrophe hits, which will make you even less financially stable on top of already being less financially stable in the first place. And then the rest of society turns around and goes, well, why aren't you like offering to do a free gig and give all of your profits away? And you're just like, I want to, but I don't have any other money and I need to survive.
Yeah.
And so there's this whole hypocrisy. So it's great when you've got artists who are in a position where they can do that and it doesn't affect them, like it doesn't affect their ability to survive. But you've got the same expectations placed on those artists, like people like Pink donating $50 million to something, placed on small independent freelance artists who literally live paycheck to paycheck on like barely anything. And then you've got fucking government sites like this bullshit being like, oh, artists are all not very qualified young people who just it's just like
honey bohemians.
You know what makes this even better? And I feel like I'm gonna one day make a stand-up routine about this because it's fucking stupid and ridiculous, but also I find it, if I didn't find it this hilarious, I would be so pissed off. And I already am pissed off, but I'm pissed off and also can laugh about it. So I've been on like job search thing for a year. I've since the start of last year. I haven't got payments for the last 6 months or whatever because I'm working so much now. I have a job. I've had a job for almost a year now. And about 6 months into this job, right? And it's perfect, works perfectly for me. I don't have to think too much. I can leave work at work. I still have a lot of time to work on my book and do all my shows and like stuff outside of work. I have enough time off to manage both. I have to go in for these bloody meetings with like job providers who do shit all. That's another rant.
They're not in the business to get you a job, because if they get you a job, they lose their payments.
Exactly. I go in for this meeting, right? And this is what the woman says. She was like, "Oh yeah, how are you going with the job?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's really good. Same old, like it's going perfectly." She's like, "That's great. This is after the point where I've got this job. I've got lovely bosses. I'm a set now. I've got an ongoing contract for as long as I want to work there." And she says, "Oh, well, also keep in mind, this is about a week or two after they completely got rid of the Department of the Arts from the government and combined it with transport, of all fucking things."
Oh my God.
I go in and she says, "Well, look, it's great that you've got these like hours with this company or whatever, but our goal is to get you into full-time employment in the area that you studied in." And I was sitting there like sort of gobsmacked, and I just wanted to be like, where is this imaginary full-time employed job in the arts that you are envisioning for me? Where is it? Where is it? Because they just scrapped the Department of the Arts, and a lot of the jobs that did exist that was already very high competition for, because there's so many arts people that aren't paid, that the competition is huge to get into the few full-time paid roles. You just got rid of half of those when you scrapped the Department of the Arts. And you're sitting here, after talking me into going for this job in the first place, I get the job, I'm doing great, and then suddenly it's like you expect me to just walk out on my lovely bosses who've made so many accommodations for me to be able to keep doing my art, in search of this imaginary job, full-time job in the arts, for which there is no longer a fucking department.
Yeah, no. It's okay. I understand your frustration, but at the core of it, it is simply them keeping you on the books so they can get paid for helping you find work. That is literally all it is. It's insane.
It's ridiculous, yeah.
It's so stupid.
It's like my partner's auntie.
My mum has said, literally every time I go in for a meeting with them, they get paid. It took me 6 months and 5 different case managers for someone to say, "Your CV's good, but if we just made these few little changes, it would make it a lot better." Yeah. Everyone else has been like, "Yeah, it's fine." As soon as I made those changes, I got a job interview. Yeah. It took me 6 months to get a fucking interview, because the people who are supposedly there to help you improve your applications,
they're not trained to improve your applications. They're trained to forms.
Yeah. Well, it's like my partner's auntie, she had a stroke, so she's partially paralyzed on her left side. She has limited sight in her left eye. She can use her hands fine. She's fine. She's all good with her arms. But she has a bit of a limp. She's never had her driver's license ever. She's white. She has to go through these job seek people to get her disability pension. They offered her a job as an Indigenous mine truck driver. She was like, we have an issue. I'm white, for starters. I've never had a driver's license, let alone a truck license. I'm not qualified to drive a huge fucking mining dump truck. And I wouldn't be able to climb up the ladder to get in the fucking car. So, like, also I can't travel. So FIFO's out of the, like, it was just the worst thing they could have offered her, and it was absolutely fucking ridiculous. And they were like, oh, we have you on file as being Indigenous. And she was like, how the hell did you get that? She was born in England. She has an Irish last name. She's a redhead. I was like, there's a lot of things in there that really signify not Indigenous, barely Australian. Like, I was just like, how? Also, stroke victim. How can she drive a heavy vehicle? Yeah. Like, the second that she told us that, or the whole family was just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Yeah. They're useless. They're fucking useless.
But also, too, though, the potential for that to be put on her file as she refused an offer of reasonable work.
Yeah, and then they cut.
They don't back check. They just, the next person just says, oh, you refused the last lot of reasonable work. No. I was asked to be a truck driver. I don't even have a license. You know, that's not reasonable work. Oh, no, it was reasonable work. It was reasonable work because we offered it to you.
She also, because of her stroke, has sensitivity to noise and has anxiety, social anxiety, all of that kind of stuff because of the stroke and everything that happened. And they were like, drive this heavy vehicle that makes a lot of noise is a FIFO job, even though you can't get permission to travel. Like it was just completely, they did not look at her file. And she was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, there was just no other reaction she could have had for it. It was just...
And I think also too, like, this current situation that we're in has highlighted a lot of these problems because at the end of the day, and I remember hearing someone say this, and I totally agree with them at the time. I don't remember who said it, but they turned around and they said, our Centrelink system has been created to stop you accessing help.
Oh, yeah.
Created so badly, and it's created to stop you that you get so that you just go and get a job. So this year, when we've had people, like hundreds and thousands of people out of work like that, you know, having to, you know, do those lines out the front of the offices and things like that, they weren't set up to help them because their whole structure is how not to help you. You know, and I had an issue. I didn't figure out how to claim something because I was on it for a little while when I was stood down. And I couldn't figure out how to claim it. And all I wanted to do was ask someone, do I press this or press this button? That's all I needed to ask. And every time I rang through, I got, oh, you need to do something with your claim. And it would take me through to the automatic claiming system. And then the automatic claiming system say, you're not set up for automatic claiming, and hang up on me. And I'm like...
I had the phone thing. I had to call them up to fix something because it told me, ring up, there's an issue with your reporting thing. I call up, fucking automated system. I actually have a theory that if you are swearing in the background with the automated system, it will hang up on you.
I wasn't swearing. I was going...
Well, this is like separate to the it not being able to help and saying goodbye. This is like when you're first trying to put your details in to get through for it to allow you to. If you're swearing at the machine, it automatically hangs up on you before you can put your details in. Because that's happened to me like 3 or 4 times where it's been like glitchy and I've just gone like, oh, for fuck's sake or something.
I had someone tell me
when I get through to them because they're always lovely and I'm just like, you have a difficult enough job, I feel for you. The fucking automated system, I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
I had someone tell me go through the parents line because they answer that more frequently. I feel you there, Renee. I feel you there. But apparently it gets answered more frequently.
The next time I've got to call up the debt recovery system because they answer straight away. And they can also adjust previous, if you've got a mistake in your reporting that you're not able to manually adjust, they can do that for you on the same thing, which is always the issue that I've got to call up and fix. And so if I just call up them instead, they can fix it straight away and I get through straight away and I don't have to be on the phone for like 3 hours.
I am too frightened to fix up the hours on my husband's lodgement for his work on my childcare subsidy because I'm so frightened that it's going to fuck it up. And it's only 2 hours out. It's literally 2 hours out on the system. Because when I first put it through, it asked me how many hours he averages, blah, blah, and I put it in and it decided it didn't like that amount of hours and it put it down to 0, didn't it? And then I'm 2 weeks before I go back to work, I'm getting a letter saying I'm not eligible for any hours at all for childcare. And I'm like, no, this doesn't sound right. It took me an hour to get through to someone. And then I'm sitting there and she's saying, you did this, you did this. And I'm like, no. I didn't do anything on this day because she was saying I did this on like September 17. I'm like, no. I wasn't allowed to lodge this on September 17 because it was 30 days. It was 30, it was like 47 days before I went back to work. The system only allows me to lodge it 30 days from this. And I know this because it's in my diary because I wrote it in. And she went, and that's when she sort of backtracked and went, the system backdates. And I went, okay, that's fine. That's all I wanted to know. Now, how do we fix this? You put in 0 hours. I said, no, I put in 100 hours because he works. At the time, he was working a lot of overtime. He was working average 50 hours a week. And so we put in 100 for a fortnight. I don't think the system can take 100.
And so it puts it in a 0.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I had that issue where when I was trying to sort stuff out with Aiden, I can't remember. I don't think it was the childcare. I think it was just my parental leave payments. And they tried to tell me that I'd tried to apply for it ages ago, ages and ages ago. And I was like, I didn't even know I was pregnant then. So no, I didn't do it then. I don't know what the fuck is going on with your system. And then they had me in twice. So I had 2 numbers, which is not meant to be possible because you're given those numbers at birth. But they had me in twice. So I had to make sure that they deleted my other thing. And then it was just, I was like, for fuck's sake, why? Because I tried to get, what do you get when you're a kid? Youth allowance?
Yes.
Yeah.
I tried to get that when I was 18, I think. Or might have been after I left school, so I would have been 17 or something. And my mum and I went into Centrelink to do it because we were fuck trying to call them on the phone and sort it out that way. And they told me I didn't exist and told me to get out. And I was like, what? I haven't existed anywhere else. This is the only place I've ever existed. Oh, no, we don't have you on the system, so there's nothing we can do. And I was like, okay, thanks. What?
The bullshit that is just the theme through the entire issue is that the system is broken and none of the people who work there seem to recognize that the system could ever possibly be wrong.
Oh, no. They know because I went in there one day because we were discussing whether or not I was going to go back to work. So we were saying, well, okay, well, do I go back to work? Is it financially viable for me to go back to work? And all I wanted was scenarios. All I wanted was, okay, if we go back to work and I earn this much, what's the situation? If I don't go back to work and my husband's only earning this much, what's the situation? She sat there and she turned around to me and said, we are not allowed to give you figures. You have to go to the website. You have to do the calculator. I said, but I don't know what to put into the calculator.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, well, we can't help you with that. They are actually not allowed to give you figures at all. They know. They know. And I do feel sorry for them because a lot of them are just people that want to – they're like us. They just turn up, do their job and go home. They're human.
Yeah.
But I just think sometimes, anyway. So this has been a great conversation about Mistborn.
Let's have a better conversation. How did you get that ball so perfect? It's been bugging me this whole time. Look at that. How did you do that? What?
It's just you do a couple of wraps and then you turn it and you do another couple of wraps and
not to brag, but all my balls are perfect.
I've never, maybe that's why I always have so much issues with my knitting because I don't ever put it in a ball.
I like my skeins. Aren't they cute?
These are like full skein balls, I think.
Yeah. Oh, these are mini skeins. I actually had them cut up into 20-gram mini skeins to sell on Etsy, and I ended up never selling them. So now I'm just knitting.
Why is this no? Oh, because it's on the.
I think I might finish the legs tonight.
Messed up the last couple of meters, so I don't know if I'm going to be bothered untangling it or just cut it off.
Yeah, see, I would just cut it off.
We'll do some sprints at all.
Well, it's 11:20.
Oh shit, it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
we can do. Or we can try and have a better conversation.
We've just been ranting about the last 20 minutes or so about the Australian government's lack of initiative towards the arts and welfare.
Yes. Well, we'll maybe just chat for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to actually have to call it a night because I'm exhausted and I have a child to care for tomorrow. Yeah. So yes, but
well, I've got maybe like 6 or 7 rows done.
Nice. I got a good few many rows done. I just ran out of ball, so I've got to make another ball.
I think this row is the one where I've officially finished the legs. This next one.
Wow. I have no idea how you do it. I've been working on the same scarf for like 7 years.
I taught myself how to do multiple colors and writing and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm quite proud of that.
Yeah. No, the color works nice.
Mum thought it said Saki. I'm just like, why are you writing that? She thought the same thing because it was the mug that I've got that has "for fox sake" on it.
Oh, yeah.
She didn't realize the joke, and so she thought it just said "for Saki," and she's like, "That's a lot of Saki." I was just like, "No, Mum."
Oh dear.
So how close are you at finishing your draft, Charlotte?
I am on 45,000 words, and I think it'll be around 60,000. I am.
You're closer than me. Yeah, I'm not competing with you.
Well, no, but the thing is, mine's a lot shorter book, but in terms of plot, I'm not to the climax yet.
Yeah.
I'm around I'm getting close to the 2/3 mark. I've still got about a third to do.
I'm probably in like the last quarter. I wouldn't even say quarter actually. I'm probably closer to the end than that now, really.
I'd say I don't know. Yours was pretty close to the end, I think.
Yeah.
I still have around 15,000 words to write, I think.
Yeah. See, I've predicted that I still have about 30,000, maybe more. But I don't know. It's hard to judge mine because there's a lot. There's like things that happen. and stuff, I don't want to give it away. I could quite happily just like, this is the ending.
Just maybe we're not live anymore.
Yeah. I'll tell you guys after. But yeah, there's like a big thing, and then there's like a little thing, and then there's like another big like thing, and then kind of I'd say I'd stick with the 30.
I still have mine. Actually, could be more than 15,000. I just hit like a wave recently and been like, oh my god, I'm close to the end, because I found all this stuff that I'd written that I have to still rewrite.
Yeah.
So I've got an entire heist sequence that I have to rewrite and add in a heap of stuff, and then I've got to do the whole final third, like resolution, falling action, setting up for the next book. I still have all of that to do, and a lot of that is not particularly planned out. Like, I only have a very vague idea of what that's going to entail.
Yes,
and then
pretty much at the same point.
Start and fix a heap of things before it's properly finished.
Oh yeah, God, I haven't even thought about the 30,000 is literally just finishing the book. I still have to go back and rewrite like the first 3 or 4 chapters, because the way that I started writing it was YA fantasy, and now I've gone a completely different direction, and my writing style has completely changed. So I have to go back and just completely like rewrite all of that, then make sure the rest of it flows, then go back through and reread it for, plot holes and stuff like that. And
don't forget, I was halfway through a draft and I decided to take out all direct thoughts. I still got that. That happens.
I'm meant to be finished by October. I'm not going to be finished by October.
I was aiming by the end of July.
You guys might.
I'm going to finish by the end of July. I might. We'll see.
Well, I've been actually thinking of following Emmy's idea and actually doing a couple of writing sprint streams every week, because I need to get my bit finished too.
I'm thinking I might jump onto that Thursday before M's one.
I was thinking Whiskey Wednesday and Cataday.
Yeah, that works. And I do my Sundays and Thursdays.
And I do the occasional Sunday, but I have to go to work the next day, when at least if I'm doing Wednesday night, I finished work for the week. So even if I'm tired, I don't sleep in because I have a child, but I don't have to get started.
Yeah.
And then I can do Saturday nights. So come Sunday morning, I can have a nap. I can have a nap in the afternoon on Sunday if I need to. So yeah, but that's another dreams that we can get writing done, because I need to get this shit done. I mean, I want it to be 30,000 words into this second draft, and I'm 6. And there's a sneak peek at my cover, guys.
I was trying to like brainstorm title ideas today, because since Renee said schism, I'm like, oh, that actually is quite good, but I don't think it's quite right, and I'm trying to find something that's like that. And I like the one word thing as well.
I'm just brainstorm titles. For fantasy, I love the big long fancy titles, but
see, I hate that there's this idea now that the long titles are YA.
No. Lord of the Rings.
Fantasy, exactly. It's not a YA thing. It's just a fantasy thing. It's just because there's so much YA fantasy at the moment. That's why we're seeing it so much in YA.
Yeah. It's actually funny, because I was trying to do some research on book covers and what I wanted mine to look like. And you go into you go into like Amazon and look at like the where you think your book's going to fit, and look at the covers. But because YA is so prevalent in fantasy and sci-fi at the moment, all you get is YA covers, and you're just sitting there going, well, my book's not YA, so this don't make any sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I don't find the channel.
Hey?
I'm trying to find Orla's channel. Because apparently she's got a video up.
Oh, what? Has she? Wait, no.
She's got a newbie tag.
I need a face reveal. Oh my god!
Yay! Yay, Orla!
Orla, why didn't you tell us?
I would have streamed it live.
Subscribe to Orla.
Wait, what's the channel name?
It's just Orla.
If
you put in Orla and the word AuthorTube, you'll find it.
Okay, I am going and checking that out probably tomorrow morning because I'm really tired tonight. Yeah, Cachet. I would be that
channel header banner thing.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for the accent. I have headphones in. I can watch it like right now.
Orla's voice is so nice. Okay, Orla, you have to do the audio thing we were talking about the other
day. Deal with the embarrassment.
This is like us live reacting to hearing Orla talk for the first time because we've all been like chatting on Discord and in the streams for the last month or so, and now we're just like, oh my god. I was just like mortified. I'm gonna have to turn it off and watch it after the stream because otherwise we'll just be like rambling the next bit. Cachet is asking, what would be a good time for me to host streams once a week for you international folks? I hate that I miss you guys streaming. If you do it morning for you, it's evening for us. Otherwise, weekends in either the evening or early evening or late evening is like morning, early afternoon for us. So the time that you did today worked perfectly for me because I don't work on Fridays.
But today, the one you were doing today, Cachet, would have been absolutely brilliant, and I would have been able to jump on if I wasn't like redoing in here. I don't think I got it.
Yeah, I'm annoyed about today because I didn't get a notification for it. And that's why I missed it.
I think it's because she didn't schedule it until like a few minutes before we went live. So we get a reminder, and YouTube is iffy on notifications.
Yeah.
So we did all our shelving today, which is all up above me now. So my back is killing.
So good.
But yeah, the Friday or Thursday evening for you, I think, was a good time. If you did Friday evening as well, your time, so tonight for you, that would be Saturday lunchtime for us, which would also work for all people who have like jobs during the week. That would be a really good time. I think Brooke has a stream tomorrow.
Well, Brooke bounces because she does the morning or the night because she does and hers is
doing Friday nights every now and then.
Yeah,
and I think she's got one tomorrow, and she's got a really late, like a witching hour one with Courtney project coming up, and that's always like 30 hours for us and insane hours for them.
Yeah, I love Courtney's streams. I love them when I catch her. She's on quite late for her. For us, afternoon. It's great, and I've got prime writing brain, and usually the little fellas have me sitting beside me drawing, or playing.
So my prime writing brain at the moment turns out to be around like 7 to 9 p.m.
At the moment, mine is too. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's when I've gotten all the 1Ks in the last few days, and then today, just as we're about to go live, I was like, if I was sitting down to write right now, I'd be killing it.
Because I was almost turn around and say, let's turn it into a writing stream because I was really ready to write this afternoon.
Well, maybe we should have.
I did untangle that whole mess.
Yes. But I did get a lot of creativity in the time tonight because I was talking to Stephen about Gaiman, and I started a new notebook for it. I'm actually going to get up and show you guys this, even though I'm halfway through a row. I've started. I had to go pick.
Travesty.
This sticker.
Had to pick the right notebook.
I had to go pick a new one for my collection of notebooks because I'm a notebook stationery addict, and of course I have a collection of empty notebooks just waiting for me to fill them.
Oh, I can please
and for the Gay Bomb Cabaret initial notebook, this is the cover that I chose.
Nice. Very appropriate.
And what makes it even better is that Stephen also has this notebook, and I know he has this notebook because I bought it for him as a Christmas present. So we can both have matching Gaiman notebooks, but then we'll have to like personalize them in some way to
so you don't take the wrong one.
And it's been labeled as the Gaiman. I've got to rainbowify it. Rainbowify? Is that a word? It is now. But making notes on like the team, who's involved, what we're doing, quotes and lines to use. I came up with a line this evening, which was, I just imagine this being like one of the officials who's having to okay this as something they can research. And it's like, we're not really on board with the homos unless we can weaponize them.
Yes.
I said that in like as like a faux character that like quote while rambling to Stephen. I was like, wait, that was really good. I've got to write it down. And then of course I've got distasteful but completely non-lethal.
Hannah does have her stream every Saturday night, but it ends up very late for us.
It's around 10, I think. It starts.
Very late for me.
Hannah's. Yeah, late for
Emmy.
Yeah.
Also, I'll have to look. I don't actually know if StreamYard will let me schedule anything yet. It wouldn't today because it's still out of hours. I'm going to have to upgrade, I think. Oh, I can schedule again. Yay, it's reset.
Aha.
But I have to check the Evergreen Writing Retreat stuff because I saw the diversity panel is starting at 9:30 a.m. and I usually start at 8:30 and I want to try and get 2 hours in. But I really want to go to that panel, so I might pull my stream to 7:30 start and just get up a bit earlier.
I'm down for that because I could probably get an hour writing before the little fella gets up then.
Yeah, it would be good. I'll have to check though because I know there's a bunch of Evergreen streams, so it might clash with another one if I do it earlier. But the diversity one is one that I definitely want to go to live. So even if it does clash with an earlier one, I might just do it. The link. I'm not sure. Maybe Kashi, can you help us out with that? Do you know if there's another stream anywhere in the 2 hours before the diversity one that's in part of Evergreen? Because
it'll be on the website.
My write in if possible.
Oh shit. Which one's the diversity panel 7:30 to 9:30? The fast drafting is 6 to 7.
AM? I thought this diversity one
it's PM for them, but so I'm just looking at what's ahead of it. So it's 7:30 to 9:30.
No, I'm thinking because I looked at the scheduled one, and I'm pretty sure it said it was 9:30 a.m. my time, like our time.
Our time, yeah. But that would mean that the one before it, the fast drafting one, would be around about that.
There's the opening panel and welcome. That's tomorrow 5 a.m. Is there a playlist somewhere? I should know this.
Yeah,
okay, so the diversity one starts at 9:30 on Sunday morning. What's the one before that?
Fast drafting, it starts at their time 6 p.m. So it's the diversity panel is 7:30.
Whose channel is the fast drafting one on? I'll look it up.
I'm trying to get into it now. The button's not working yet.
Yeah. Kashi, do you know whose channel the fast drafting one is on? And Brooke's Friday night sprints are happening this week, so they're on 10:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. So that is something I
got Brooke's one and Courtney's ones down. I don't know if I'm going to get to them because I'm probably going to be chasing Mr. I Can Stand Now around the house.
I'll be back in a sec. I need to go pee.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, I'm probably going to miss all of the live ones, which I'm kind of bummed about. But
no, I try to get to at least one. I mean, what have they got? I mean, so the Evergreen Running Hours, we've got Becca's doing writer tips. Ooh, I like that one. Hand health. I like that one. I love the book, Knitting Comfortably. Is that what it's called? It's all about obviously doing craft safely, so you don't about. There's a burnout, fill the well panel, series Bible, marketing panel. That
is something I need to watch. Series Bible.
Yeah. Discovery writing, outlining, drafting, fast drafting, diversity, self-editing, CP beta readers, editing panel, author platform. I think who's doing the author platform one?
Probably Jenna.
No, I think I just watched. It's not Courtney, is it?
Don't know.
Oh, Brandon, where's the playlist with all the times? Whose channel's that on?
Surely it would be Jenna doing the author platform, because that's like what her whole Skillshare thing is about.
I don't know. Words of the Web. Okay, give me a second. Let me get on there.
What did I miss? Oh, Zoe's here. Wait, no. Zoe's not here? Who's talking about Words of the Web? Why?
Apparently she's got a playlist with all the times on it.
Oh, nice.
What the hell is going on? Oh, maybe it's because I'm streaming. I'm having a bit of trouble loading here. Give me a second.
I swear you're always eating. I don't think there's ever been a stream where you haven't been eating.
I was going to try and repeat that, but I can't think of any.
Brandon, if you got the link, can you just post it in chat and I'll just copy and paste it?
I don't think he'll be able to share.
No.
He tried to share and it won't let him.
I don't know if I want to give you the power, Brandon. I really don't.
I'll see if I can find Chris.
Can you trust that young man? There you go. Now try it.
I know, he gave you some attitude before.
Try now. You should be able to now, and you should be blue now. Yeah, it's the buttons aren't working. Not yet.
Right. Got the playlist.
Maybe me though. My system does seem to be a bit funny at the moment. There we go. Thank you, Brandon. Oh, come on, you stupid fucking ass.
Yeah, that's good. It shouldn't clash. Unless there's anything else in between there. Fast drafting is at 4 a.m. our time. So that should be over by the time if I start at 7:30.
Yep, cool.
All right, well, I'll schedule that as an hour earlier than usual. And I'll have to finish right on around 9:30.
There we go. Finally, it's loading. Fuck's sake. You wouldn't know that we have the fastest internet in the country.
Yeah, we still have friggin' worse internet than most of the world.
Yeah.
How am I not subscribed here? Hello. Seriously, Renee. You know what? I won't lie. I probably thought about subscribing and then just never did it.
I do that all the time. How many times did I talk about checking out fucking Sako's channel?
Yeah. Yeah, so
Alright, I want to finish this.
Courtney's doing the author platform. I did think she'd mentioned that. I watched her most recent video on the 99 cents, whether or not to use 99 cents as a marketing tool, sales tool, and she mentioned it on that.
What's Jenna doing then?
I don't know.
Oh, to be marketing or something.
Natalia's doing the self-editing workshop. Nice.
Damn it, why did I close the tab? I should have looked at when all the other ones were.
Oh, Caro's doing the marketing panel. Nice.
Well, now I'm really...
You got some nice people doing this stuff. I've been so out of it. I haven't even...
Isn't the evergreen...
Oh, Dana's doing the burnout one. Good. Oh,
right.
See, that's what I need right now is the friggin' burnout one.
Yeah.
Just so long as Oink is co-hosting, I love Oink.
Oh, Becca's one is the self-care one. That's at 6:30 tomorrow. I was planning to get to that, so we need to finish up soon so we can go to bed.
Oh,
I am going to set an alarm now so I don't miss that because Becca is awesome.
Oh, it's just awesome. Wait, schedule. That's what I want.
I'm going to be there live.
Yeah. You know what? I might try to make that one too. I really want to make that. I really wanted to get to that one.
For you, Em, it'll be 4:30 a.m. Sorry.
Yeah, fuck off. Now I'm going to catch them all later because it's Dan's birthday tomorrow, and then I have a client on Sunday morning. So that sounds really bad. I have a makeup client on Sunday morning. So I'm pretty much busy all weekend because tomorrow morning, even though it's Dan's birthday, we're going to be cleaning the damn house. And then we're out from like midday, and then Sunday morning we're going to do like the final once over of the house, and then I've got the client and she'll probably be here until, what time is she coming? 10 o'clock? So she'll probably be here till about 11. So it'll be, I won't be free again until midday Sunday. That would be €100 for my service. Yeah, good luck with that. It doesn't say, or am I just blind? Oh, no, it does say. Okay, writer tips. Oh, no, it only says on one of them who's...
Oh, that's all right. I can always just make Brandon just a normal person again, just remove his moderator privileges.
Yeah, that's true. What can be given can be taken away.
Web.
Oh, Jacqueline's here.
Who's here? Oh, hello.
Hello. Hello.
Very cute.
Yeah, and
I was on a different tab and I didn't see the comments. Yes, don't miss the diversity panel. I am literally scheduling my live stream earlier so that everyone can come to the diversity panel because I want to go to the diversity panel. So anyone who's at my stream on Sunday morning, I'm going to be like, go to the fucking diversity panel. I'm finishing now. You have no excuse not to go.
Oh, I was totally reading this whole thing wrong. God, I'm an idiot. Okay. Where? Is it all just, are you guys looking on the playlist or?
I'm just looking at the playlist at the moment.
Okay.
Let
me click that.
Bree was right. Pizza was the good decision. We had to walk all the way into Clayton and then all the way back, which is about 2 or 3
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
But it's most of the way uphill, pulling like a granny trolley full of food on the way back. So we got pizza at Domino's before we came home. And I also got bubble tea because there was a gong cha and I could get bubble tea.
Oh, yeah. Tamara's doing 2. 3. 4.
I'm glad I saved some of that pizza though, because if I'd eaten it all before, I would have fallen asleep. Now I'm hungry again, and I got pizza.
So
This is ramblings with me. Welcome.
If I'd eaten it at this time, it would actually send me to sleep because I would have had a food baby and I just would have been. Okay. Well, I managed to.
I got into 6:30 and now it's 11:30, so I've had a good sort of couple of hours. What kind of pizza? This was Spicy Veg Trio from Domino's Australia. It's part of their value range, so it was $5.
Nice little string at the front.
Sponsor me, Domino's. I'm poor.
I haven't driven in my ends yet.
Nice, Renee.
But you know what the real problem is? It's not the sock head hat. It's the sock head cow. No, it actually will fit. Once I've finished it, I'd actually fit over my head quite nicely. But I was a bit worried that I didn't.
I agree, Brandon, even though it will kill Emily. Sorry, Emily. But if it means I get all the pizza, pineapple, yes.
It's not meant to go on pizza.
Pineapple
That's
is
the opinion I disagree with.
Yeah, well,
in a stream the other day, I was like, this is the thing that makes people unsubscribe. I stand by this, and I'm pretty sure I lost like 2 or 3 subscribers on that stream.
They'll probably all Italian.
I wonder if it was the pizza.
No. I just liked you the other night. Here she is going, I think I'm going to cook pizza too. I won't lie. I didn't really want the pizza. I just wanted the pineapple, and I just shoved a whole slice through in my mouth. I'm like, yeah.
I ate more than half of the can of pineapple before I had even got to putting pineapple on the pizza.
Yeah. Well, you got to eat the pineapple because you only need a couple of slices for the pizza. So what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what? Pineapple is
I
actually
didn't have
really
any
bad.
pizza bases left. Normally, I would put the rest in like a plastic container and then make more pizzas the next day before it goes off. But I didn't have any pizza bases left, so I just like, well, I just have to eat this now.
Ooh, I've got leftover souvlaki bread. I reckon I can make pizza for lunch tomorrow.
I bought more pita bread today so I can make more pizza, and I bought 2 more cans of pineapple, even though I have 1 can.
I won't lie. I won't lie. I didn't hoard toilet paper. I didn't hoard paper towel. I didn't hoard nappies. But damn it, when I saw those pineapple slices, I bought cans and champignons because I love champignons.
I have quite a lot of canned stuff at the moment, not because I was hoarding, but because I was buying the usual amount and then I couldn't be bothered cooking half the time, so I just ordered Uber Eats. So I bought all this food and it won't go off, so I'm just like, well, I may as well buy more in case they're restricted again. But yeah. I'm not like buying extra. I just haven't cooked the stuff that I normally would have cooked.
That's happened to me a couple of times, but I've got a pretty good stock of cans because I always use tomatoes. I always use the beans in some way. Multiple different beans. I always need pineapple because pineapple is God on pizza. Always need. I love champignons because I just love champignons on my pizza too. And I've just got like a pile of things that I always have at least 2 or 3 cans of because I use 3 of them in a week and go, oh shit, I'm out, you know. I go buy another 2 or 3. So
see, for me, it's beetroot and corn.
Yeah, see, I don't like beetroot. I hate beetroot.
Oh, I love beetroot.
I love the pickled baby beetroots that like Golden Circle do.
Yes.
So good.
Good.
No.
I realized while we're on the stream, I was planning to rewatch Pride and Prejudice this afternoon because I saw Candace was watching it.
Yeah.
And she was on the Instagram. I was like, I have it on DVD. I'm going to watch it today. And then my housemate was like, let's go to Coles. And then by the time I got back, I was talking to Stephen for a bunch of time, and then we had to be on the stream. So I didn't.
I have a real problem with Pride and Prejudice because I can never decide if I want to watch the really old Pride and Prejudice, the BBC mini-series, that one that Candace was watching, or if I just want to listen to the audiobook. because I love Pride and Prejudice.
I haven't read the book and I haven't seen the BBC one because I don't like Colin Firth, but I love Matthew McFadden. So I have seen that version so many times because he is amazing.
Emmy, you have to do a book movie thing about Pride and Prejudice now in the 2005 version.
The book is so long.
I read it in a weekend and I haven't read it again since. So
but
I recognize that'll be a challenge. But the movie is so good.
I know. I love the movie so much. I love all of those like Keira Knightley period dramas. I love them. All of them. They're so good. I haven't read any of the books for them, but I like them.
Yes. Yeah. Ola, you understand. You understand, Ola.
I haven't watched the BBC version, and I haven't watched the old version. I've only seen the 2005 version, and it hasn't been marked fully.
Is it Elizabeth Taylor? I think it's Elizabeth Taylor. It's so cute.
Taylor did The Taming of the Shrew, so it wouldn't surprise me if she did Pride and Prejudice as well.
Probably. Yeah, I've been curious. I think I have Jane Eyre. I think I bought that. I haven't read that, and I haven't watched the movie.
I have like at least two copies of the book of Jane Eyre, and I haven't read it. I've had these copies for several years. I have so many books of like classics. I'm like, I should read that, and I haven't read it.
Yeah, I literally have a whole shelf. Like, everyone tells me that classics are really good, and I just really can't like bring myself to read them. Like, I love Robert Louis Stevenson, like Treasure Island and Jekyll and Hyde and that kind of stuff. Love that. I was reading Dorian Gray. Loved that. Haven't finished it, but I'm loving it. I should finish that for my thing because there's the Dorian Gray movie. Oh, okay. I figured out what I want to do. Okay, so I'm really excited about this. It makes me really excited. So because I did the mummy thing today and I've done Black Cat doesn't count. Okay, so because I've done the mummy now and I'm going to do Frankenstein and I'm going to do I'm looking for the Wolfman. I don't know if it has a book, but I'm going to look for it. If not, there's like a
short story. It was I was really out. Greer Garson and Laurence Olivier.
Oh. I know Laurence Olivier. I don't know the other one.
It is. I actually really liked it. I really like it. I grew up watching this a lot.
I love the 2005 version so much. I just have to keep saying that.
That's what I was saying. So I need to find the Wolfman, if that's a short story or a book or whatever. I don't know. There is a werewolf story in my Penny Dreadful book, but I don't know. What am I talking about? Wolfman. I don't know if there's something to do with witches and whatever. I don't know. But I'm going to end up doing, like, watching all of those. And then at the end, I'll watch, like, I've already seen Penny Dreadful. And then I'll talk about, like, Penny Dreadful, Van Helsing, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, where you have all those characters in the same movies. And then I can talk about, like, the differences and, like, all the things that they kept the same and, like, that kind of thing. I'm excited about that.
I saw Orla said don't read Mansfield Park. Awful. Yeah. I loved Mansfield Park. Like, it's problematic, but I loved it. It was like, aww. But also, I haven't reread it in ever, and I read it quite a few years ago, and my critical discernment has gotten better since then, so I may not enjoy it anymore. But I agree, An Ideal Husband is awesome. So is Lady Windermere's Fan. I was the Duchess of Berwick in our grade 10 version of Lady Windermere's Fan. It was so much fun. Love a bit of Oscar Wilde. You should do a Dorian Gray one, Emmy. Like book versus film. Because the film has you don't like Colin Firth though, but the film has
Ben Barnes. I do love that movie. Ben Barnes makes up for it. because he is the most beautiful human in existence.
Oh, right. I don't know whether you had this as well. So Prince Caspian.
Yes.
But like in the Prince Caspian film, he was kind of annoying. When he comes back in Dawn Treader, I was just like, okay. Because he dropped the weird Spanish
accent, yeah.
And he'd gotten a bit of stubble, and like his hair was slightly lighter, and he was just like more like confident, and like I was just like, damn boy. That whole movie though, fucking Dawn Treader. Oh my god, such a good movie.
Voyage of the Dawn Treader has always been my favorite. It was my favorite book. It was my favorite movie when they did the I think they were BBC telemovies, that series. That's always been my favorite of the Lewis Carrolls. Always.
It's definitely my favorite of the movies that they. I don't know. I don't know if they continued with that series with those actors because the actors all got too old and they didn't do them quick enough. But
yeah, there was only one left after that, wasn't there? I think there's only one left after the Voyage.
Silver Chair has
Yeah.
used in it.
Yes, that's right.
And I don't know if they've ever got around to filming it. I really want to see. I loved The Horse and His Boy, which was a whole set of different characters. I really hope they make a film of that one day and do it justice because I love that story so much.
Yeah, I think they always drop. I think they always drop it at Voyage of the Dawn Treader because the 4 originals are no longer in it, and
they
obviously
come back in the last one.
Yeah,
but I think, aren't they like they're dead or something, or it's implied that they're dead, and that because it gets really weird. I remember I read through them at one point, and I read the last one. And I was getting slightly confused as to what was happening because people were having dreams and hallucinations of characters, and Narnia had moved on like 1,000,000 years or something, and they barely remembered the people while in real life the people had become young adults. And I think there was something about a train crash.
Oh, okay.
And then Susan like went off and forgot about Narnia. And it was like that Susan was no longer able to get to Narnia because she stopped believing in it.
Yeah.
It was so weird. But this Dawn Treader is so beautiful.
It is. I love
it. Also, I have a massive crush on Lucy in the Dawn Treader. I was just like, hell yes. Like, Lucy in all of them is brilliant. By the time I got to the Dawn Treader, I was just like, yes.
Wait, which one's Lucy? Is that the older sister? No, that's Susan.
No, the younger sister.
Yeah.
Ugh. No, I didn't like her.
I love Georgie Henley.
The older sister. Susan, though.
We had a nightmare.
Oh,
look at his little face.
Oh,
where is this down?
I was screaming, but I wasn't expecting to be picked up. He's going through a growth spurt at the moment, so we're getting random screaming in the middle of the night.
I think Aiden might be as well. Okay, so I found the Wolfman that Orla said.
You want to read
where this the one? Because if this is the right one, I need to try and find out how I can get it. That's the next. Okay, there's no summary on here. God damn it, Goodreads. What is wrong with you? This is going to be a pain in the butt.
Can you see your face?
Why do I always decide to make
Aww.
these difficult?
Mark, you're famous. You've been published.
Oh, not yet. They've got a lot of things I need to fix. This is the proof. A lot of things.
Really?
Yeah. But that's all right. That's why you get proofs done.
Man, what's Booktopia? Is that a show?
I was about to say something, I realized I'm not actually allowed to because not announced yet. I was going to be like, I'm so excited for something, but then realized I was like, oh, can't say that yet. But anyone who knows, I'm really excited for a certain thing that you may know what I mean by it. I can't say what it is.
I need to work on that.
Yeah, so
I'm
do
very
I.
behind.
But I'm just like, I know I have a rough draft of one that I can whip up relatively quickly. It'll probably take me, like, it'll be a rough draft, but it only has to be a rough draft by the deadline anyway, and then there's revision time. So I can't really focus on space for a while.
Project that I'm going to forever now call the Project Watermelon.
Yes, the thing.
Yeah, the thing. Cool.
I love the Patreon things are called things. Like you're singing the thing. Just makes the whole thing even funnier.
Speaking of thing of the thing.
Yes.
Thing.
Oh. Yes. I got to get myself like a better tablet for drawing on so I can whip up some designs. Because I have ideas for like chaos merch.
Yes.
And yeah, I've still got the tab open for, what was it called? The one that Cachet recommended anyway. That one. I've still got tab to put designs on there because I want to have general chaos merch available for everyone soon. And then the Patreon merch thing can be like exclusive designs.
Is that a kiss? I got a kiss.
Aww.
Kiss.
That was better. I was based on that.
Also, I played Stephen Sex Bomb by Tom Jones. Yes. And was realized straight away that is perfect for parody because the first few lines are talking about like espionage and like using war metaphors.
The minute the gay bomb came out, all I thought about was gay bomb.
Let me be your gay bomb.
Like before the curtain goes up song.
Yes.
I think what it's gonna be is the pitch song. So the like that pitch scene where it's like a very sort of like dry comedy Monty Python-esque sort of, let me pitch you this idea for this new thing. And then they go into the pitch and it goes into a parody of Sex Bomb. Oh gosh.
Okay, guys, I think we're gonna have to call it a night because someone wants to be up by 6:30 this morning.
Oh yeah. To be fair, I can watch that while lying in bed.
Yeah.
Glued to my phone.
Yeah, that's
yeah. Shall we go until I finish this row just for continuity?
Yeah, we can do that. So that's the beauty of knitting something in a on circular needles. They just go round and round and round. You don't have to worry about whether or not you finished a row.
Yeah. Technically I could just put it away half done, but I would be
that's dangerous when that's dangerous when you're doing color work.
See, I usually, I don't know how it works when you're using multiple things. I usually just like push it down to the end of the needles so then it can't like slip off. Emily, look up Project Gutenberg.
Yeah.
For the Wolfman and other
Project Gutenberg used to be pretty big. I didn't even know they were still up. But they were trying to they were sort of doing the digitize all the old literature before Google do it, but they were doing it in a not-for-profit way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You ready to go back to bed?
I found a few things that kind of say what it may be based off, which was that first story that Orla mentioned, The Man Wolf by Leach Ritchie. I fucking don't know how to say that.
31.
And then a story of a werewolf by Catherine Crowe from 1846. But werewolf is spelt W-E-I-R. So it's like Weir. So that's what's come up when I wrote in what is the Wolfman 1941 based on.
Ola is going to have to do a video about the Wolfman now.
No, it's my video. Fuck off.
You can do a collab.
Collab, yeah.
Ola's first collab.
The Wolfman is like, I love it so much. It's my favorite classic. It's just such a good friggin' movie. And Lon Chaney Jr. is just amazing. I want to watch, I want to try and find the old silent monster movies with Lon Chaney in them as like Hunchback of Notre Dame and stuff. I want to find them so bad because Lon Chaney Jr. is just so good. And his dad is a friggin' legend. And I want to be able to watch his movies and just see where it all came from, you know? God, I love movies.
I love them. We're gonna have to do. We have them all planned once a month. It's like I need to do more streams where I can knit because it's actually making me get stuff done.
Well, see, I'd have to find the Hammer horror movies because I watch the Universals, which are the originals. So, I mean, I think I've seen the Hammer Dracula with Christopher Lee.
Yes.
I think seen
Nosferatu was the original.
Oh, no. I mean, the Hammer movies.
Oh, yeah, the Hammers.
That was a Hammer movie, was the Dracula with Christopher Lee. I've seen that, I think. I have Nosferatu on DVD. I haven't watched that one yet. It's one of those ones that, I've worked myself up so much that now I'm scared to watch it and scared that it's going to be crap. But I just need to do it. Yeah.
Yes, I am there.
A list of Hammer horror movies. See which Hammer horror movie list.
You know where I'll be?
Million and One Years we see, Kiss of the Vampire. See, maybe it's the Kiss of the Vampire I've seen.
And I'm done.
Oh no, it's definitely Dracula, Prince of Darkness.
So your league's now officially finished?
I've seen The Woman in Black.
Done. I'm gonna have to go down the back and cut through a heap of these threads because I didn't leave enough length and it's pulling it in. So this design should be further spread out.
But I'll be in on that too, Cachet. Get some more knitting done. Always up for more knitting.
Yes.
This is showing you modern ones.
Brandon's like, phone is on 2%, hyperventilates. Well, if we finish up now, you shouldn't miss anything. Or just get a phone charger. I'm just shoving this back in the bag and not even bothering to untangle the threads. So next time I'm on a stream and I'm pulling all my balls out, I'm going to be like, fucking hell, what was I doing?
That's what 12:15 on a Saturday morning does to you.
It is Saturday morning. Oh my gosh. I still have a bit of scotch left.
See, looking at the Hammer horror films, they just look so camp and shit.
Yeah, definitely. International Crochet Knit Stream. Down for that.
I just got... So I gave Z the link to the fanfic thing that I finally finished because she kept bugging me. She was like, are you ever going to let us know what this is that you keep alluding to, the fact that you've written fanfiction? And so I sent her the link privately. And I just got a comment on it from her, being like, I binge read this over the week and all this stuff that she loved. And I'm just like, no.
You have to tell us what it's about.
You're welcome. Any and all innuendo puns, if they're not intentional, they're intentional by lack of caring and enjoyment of them. Time I will see like typos that turn it into a funny innuendo-ish joke.
And I'll leave them.
Or I send it, and I'll send it anyway just because it's funny and I want other people to appreciate that. Yes, I'm going to pull all my balls out on... If you want me on like a crochet stream, I'll be pulling my balls out then.
Do it. Get them out.
Hey, I have balls. Like, this is a pretty... it's coming a bit unraveled.
You should be proud of your balls.
I am so proud of my balls. Like, I'm just so proud of my balls, people. It took so much effort to get them this perfect. I'm like this big, round and firm.
See, one of my projects has got Bendigo balls. I just leave them because they're just firm on their own.
Yep. There we go. Nice and tight again. Pop this stray thread in.
You want some of those balls, do you?
Mark has good taste if he wants some of these balls.
Come on. I think I need to change a nappy. We did the sniff test.
Handful, that's for sure.
Handful ball.
It's a handful of wool. There we go. I wonder what I did with the pattern book, because I was supposed to try and find that because my grandma was looking for it, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I still have it, but it's not in here, so I don't know what I've done with it. It's probably in my room somewhere.
It might be with your other balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. Possibly, indeed.
He seems so offended by that, Renee. It's like, how dare you come near my face?
He knows he does it at care because he is a little introvert and he plays well with the others. He has a lot of fun, and then by the end of the day, he's just like, I'm done. And so apparently, when particularly the girls all love him because he looks like a little doll, and they all get. At one point, he'll just go, "Won't you laugh?" Yeah. They get twinkle, twinkle.
I was in Chemist Warehouse today, and my housemate was sending me around to look for masks, so I just went through the entire store basically.
Yeah,
like the baby like bottles section. I was like, oh, this is interesting because that's where I work, is a company that like does all that. So I was basically just checking out the competition products, and then I caught myself like 2 minutes in and just browsing baby products, and I was like, why the fuck do I care? It's not my company. But then, like, as I wandered further down the road, it goes from baby gear into pregnancy tests into condoms. And I was just like, I love that progression of, like, you've got the people buying condoms. Just like, this is what you'll be buying next if you're not careful.
I always love that juxtaposition of the condoms right next to the pregnancy test. It's like, what did you forget to purchase?
It would make it even better if, like, then the next thing along was the morning after pill. But I'm pretty sure that's over the counter.
Yeah, if only you could buy it on the shelf. That sounds really bad. I just mean it should be available for women to purchase.
It should be no question asked. It should just be available. Yeah.
I'm right, it fucking should.
Shouldn't it, Mark?
That's a rant for another time.
Oh, yeah.
No.
He's very cute.
Aww.
He's my
and eventually he'll know it. I tell Aiden all the time that he's cute, and now he just turns around and goes, I know. I'm like, you're not going to get cute if you keep keeping up with that.
No, this one, he thought he was going to get everything he wanted today, and he didn't. So he decided to go from standing to pretend he fell on his back, and scream like a little baby with legs in the air because he wanted attention.
Look at his face now. He's like, no, I didn't. Fake news.
She's lying.
She's lying, I tell you, lying. Is Mummy lying? Oh, mum.
Oh.
He's so tired. Anyway, guys, good night. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for coming to chat about Mistborn.
We'll do it again once I've read it.
Well, I've got to finish reading it. So we'll definitely do it again.
Why don't we add the next book in the Mistborn series to our list? But like, it won't be one of the next books. It'll just be on the list of like 10 or so books that we've got. And then when we get to book 2, you guys can finish book 1, and we can talk about book 1 and 2 in the stream.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Let's do that. So we're doing.
Read
you want to listen to book 1 with Mummy?
I might make it my book club choice actually when it's my next turn to choose, which isn't for a couple of months.
Oh, it won't be straight
I'll
away.
try and read it in between.
We've got about 20 books on that list.
We've got quite a lot.
Yeah, but if you both like you're close enough to finishing it, you're already finished.
No, I'm not.
It's literally just me that needs to.
I'm not there.
I don't know how much it is.
Yeah. Graphic audio version is really good. Highly recommend listening to that.
Yeah. I can't do audiobooks.
I got this new version.
You are someone who likes when they have a cast of characters, right? Rather than one narrator?
Yeah, but I tried like 3 or 4 audiobooks the other week, and all of them had like different authors. They were different books. They were like not different authors, different readers, different, what do you call them? Voice over people.
Right.
And like I just could not, just all of them, I just could not. Like I would get it at the start, and then it would get to a point where everything just, and I was like, well, obviously this is just not working.
I do be careful. I will zone out of a lot of audiobooks. I will zone out.
I think if I was like laying in bed, just listening to it and solely concentrating on that, it might be okay. But otherwise, I think I would need to listen to it and read along. And that would be the only way I could do it. And I'm not paying for both things. Like, that's just not happening. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking I might give up on it. Maybe with Lord of the Rings, I'll try listening and reading, because I already have the books and there's Lord of the Rings online on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I might do that with Lord of the Rings, but I think for everything else, I'm just going to skip out on the audiobooks because I just can't. It's just, yeah, I just can't. Just doesn't stick in my head. I don't know why.
Well, I'll send you a link to the Mistborn one that Charlotte listened to. Give it a go. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You say, "Oh no, I've got to read it." But
yeah, as long as if it's free, I'll give it a go. But it's just when it comes to paying for it that I'm like, I don't want to waste my money on something that's not going to work. And my libraries have like fuck all. I've tried to look through their audiobooks that they offer and even just the ebooks that they have, and it's crap. And I have access to the whole WA State Library, and there is just nothing on there.
Oh, is that so? He's very sad for you, Emmy.
No, I know, I'm sad.
Emmy can't get in.
What was the author of the 5th season called again?
N.K. Jenkins? No, Jamison.
No, I actually got a new version. There's 2 versions on Audible. I got a new version today called the Book Track Edition, an immersive musical soundtrack to your audiobook listening experience. So you listen to the book and it's got a soundtrack running behind it.
Oh, yeah, see, no, that would throw me off completely. I could not do that.
That would be good for the car for me.
They have a little bit of that in the graphic audio version of Mistborn. Like, there's some moments where they have some sort of music soundtrack in there, but it's not in everything. And then they've got some sort of, what would you call it? Like, descriptive sound effects in the background of like people walking.
So this is book track is an immersive format that pairs traditional audiobook narration to complementary music. The tempo and rhythm of the score are in perfect harmony with the action and characters throughout the book. Generally playing in the background, the music never overpowers or distracts from the narration, so listeners can enjoy every minute. When you purchase this book track edition, you receive the exact narration as the traditional audiobook available, with the addition of music throughout.
Yeah.
I mean, if I don't like it, I'll just refund it and go get the other normal one. So
can you do that on Amazon?
Yeah, on Audible you can. I don't know. I've never done it with stuff that I've only listened to like 1 or 2 chapters with. Mm-hmm. But you can, if you don't like it, you can ask for it. See, say I didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm so used to the Australian like, nah, you can't refund anything. Fuck you. So when it comes to things like online shops that let you just refund everything, I'm like, how? What is this magic?
Yeah.
Because then, like, working at Target, like, we wouldn't even let people return underwear if they hadn't used it.
Oh,
and, like, you can't return. Yeah. But even if it was, like, in the, like, the, the packet underwear, weren't allowed to return that, even if it hadn't been opened, hadn't been touched, had the receipt. Nah, you're not allowed to return it. Bras, not allowed to return. Makeup, even if it's sealed, you're not allowed to return makeup. So, like, when you hear stories of, like, people in America who can open it, try it, and then return it, I'm like,
yeah,
how? But, I mean, the waste that would create would be insane. Although I think they send it all to, like, TJ Maxx or TK Maxx or something. I don't know.
Does anyone have any suggestions of sci-fi or fantasy books or just excellent books that we could add to our Knitting Book Club reading list? I'll read out the list that we've got so far. There's about 15, 16 books on here. So
I kind of want you guys to read Crescent City.
Crescent City, who's that by? Is that SJM?
Yeah.
Is that a terrible one?
That book is today. No, not today. Yesterday, when I did the food shop, I snuck into the bookstore because I was doing my essential
900
shopping.
pages.
It's almost as big as the what is it? The orange pyre tree or whatever it is. The orange tree.
Yeah, it's 900 pages. 900 pages.
I didn't
even get 300 pages in before I fucking rage quit that shit.
As it is, there is already one book on this list that I know Renee added on that I've just put a comment on going, please no. Which is something that we've ranted about privately. Anyway, but our current picks, we've got the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin for August, potentially Dune by Frank Herbert for September, and then future months options, we have Stardust, Ocean at the End of the Lane, and Norse Mythology, all by Neil Gaiman. Labyrinth by Kate Moss, mainly because I've seen the miniseries of that and I really liked the miniseries and I own a copy of the book.
Kate Moss, the model, actress?
No, Kate Moss, the author. So Mosse, I think it's.
Oh, okay.
The Martian by Andy Weir, Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. Is that how you Crichton? I don't know. Neuromancer by William Gibson. I just saw Renee log in to see which one I'd commented on. Ready Player One by Ernest Cline.
You know I put that on there just because of that rant, so you don't have to say it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I wasn't going to say which one. I wasn't even going to read it out. Yeah. Brightly Burning by Alexa Dunn. American Gods by Neil Gaiman. The Rage Dragon by Evan Winter, and Blood of Elves by Andrzej.
Oh, The Witcher. Yeah. That's not the first one, though, is it?
By Haruki Murakami.
Yeah.
Which I want to read After Dark by Haruki Murakami because I saw Kate's. I tried writing for that author. And I'd never heard of them before. And so I'm curious. And it says you've put a note in there saying it's a nice short one. So a nice short one would be good.
I think it's a novella, actually. It's only the audio book. I think is only about 5 hours long. Let me check.
Ocean at the End of the Lane is a short one as well. And I wanted to read it purely for the reason that the dedication just says, for Amanda, for anyone who wanted to know. Because I think they were apart for a while, and so he wrote her. It was originally going to be a short story, and it turned into like a novel length. It's like 40,000 words roughly, short novel.
I should read Name of the Wind.
Should read what?
Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss.
Ooh.
It's meant to be good. I started it and then kind of just forgot about it. It's meant to be really good. Apparently the main character is really frustrating. I can kind of see that from where I've read, but it's meant to be like amazing.
The unabridged audiobook for After Dark is 5 hours and 8 minutes.
Oh, wow. That's so short.
I have listened to it during a work day. I literally just put it on when I rocked up and listened to it when I didn't have customers in the shop all day. Can you please not? I keep kicking my cat in the head, not intentionally. She's at my feet.
You should read more classics.
Name of the Wind's class.
Horace
Pearson. Illuminate. I've heard of Illuminate. Who's Illuminate by?
Oh, that's the that's a YA, isn't it?
Probably.
So we've done mainly like adult so far.
Yeah. Name of the Wind. I've actually got that because I got that to read it for Kate's book club. Kate's and I never started it.
Is that the current month one?
Or it was the last one, I think.
I don't know. I've lost track of where they're up to. I read Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I haven't read any
other. One after that. It was the one after Seven Husbands.
I missed that chat video, and I haven't caught up on it.
No, neither have I.
I've started reading it. It's all right. What's another one?
J. Christoph.
There's the Never Night by J. Christoph. It's meant to be really good. That's a fantasy. What is it? Aurora Burning or something?
Oh,
Aurora Rising?
That sounds familiar.
Possibly. I think Aurora Burning is the sequel. That's also by J. Christoph and an Australian author, I think.
Mr. Schnoddy knows.
That's meant to be good. I think it's YA though. I think you should read Treasure Planet. Not Treasure Planet, Treasure Island. Fuck, I do that all the time. Treasure Island. Read Treasure Island.
Treasure Planet's probably better.
Rude. I personally like it, but
I have vague recollections of Treasure Island. I'm not sure if I've read it or if it was a different Treasure Island-esque book, but yes, I'm down for that.
It may also be that you've seen the mini-series because there's like 4 different BBC mini-series of it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's it. Well, there's a very specific book that I'm thinking of that we used to have, but I don't know if it was Treasure Island or just some other one, but there was definitely people getting stranded on like a island and like surviving sort of vibe and pirates and stuff. But
I guess we could also add Beowulf.
Pardon?
We could also add Beowulf.
Oh, that's like super classic.
Super long. Too.
I don't even know if that counts as a classic.
I've seen that performed live. One of my teachers at uni was like mad into Beowulf and like memorized the oral tradition full thing. Ooh. I didn't know Tolkien had a version.
He did an annotated version.
He was like the first one to translate it.
Yeah. So yeah. I haven't read it yet. I keep meaning to.
Because he was a linguist.
Yes, a very, very good one.
That's how he was able to come up with his own
languages.
Yeah, he was like one of the first. I don't know if he was the first or one of the first to fully translate Beowulf from its original Scandinavian or whatever.
We could do the Odyssey if we find a good version of the Odyssey, I'd be down to do that because that's one of the first books that I read. I read it in like grade 3. Like
really?
Well, it's probably like a kid's version of The Myth, but
Yeah,
it was like a proper like small book. It was probably like a middle grade version maybe because I was in grade 3. And that was one of the first Greek myths that I read. And I just love that story. And I want to read. I've actually got a copy of it that I bought in like the book grocer. I don't know. It's like by Stephen Bloke. I don't know if I have a version or not, but I haven't read it yet.
Fantasy, and it's not sci-fi, but if we could get a cheap version of it, I would recommend this.
Ooh.
By Katie Green.
Ooh.
There's a graphic novel.
We were gonna add in what was it? Schlock Mercenary.
Yes, Schlock. But Katie, what's that? It's a beast. But I only got a copy because I bought it directly off her from Etsy. So I don't know if there's any left around.
And did we want to add some Sandman in there?
I think so.
There's some more Gaiman on this list.
See, when you get into the graphic novels, then it gets expensive.
Yeah. You got to try and get ones that the library have. So. I used to read so many graphic novels. Like I read so many Tintin ones. When I was in like early school. Early school. That was very specific.
That might have been the reason for the crying. He had a bit of gas.
Aww.
No, that wasn't gas. That was gunk in his chest.
Oh.
His dad's not well. And he's been to the doctors and it's all good. He's got antibiotics, but if he's given it to this little fella.
The scotch is gone.
Why is the scotch gone? Because you drank it.
I'm going to pull out the bottle. I should have.
The scotch in the glass is gone.
We should read Dracula.
Yes, Dracula. I love Dracula. I love Dracula. I love the fact that it's written in journals. I just love it.
I think it might be the only one I don't have.
I've got it on audiobook because I have everything on audiobook these days.
I have like 4 copies of Treasure Island, but I don't have a copy of Dracula. Wait, no, that doesn't have Dracula in it. Maybe I do have a version. No, I don't. I need to get Dracula. I think I had a version on Apple Books or whatever, but I don't know if it was like a legit version.
Oh, okay.
When you get them for free, I'm iffy.
Yeah. I think it is very much out of copyright, so it might have been
might have been. I'll have to double check it. But
yeah.
Yeah, I need to do that. And then this has Frankenstein in it, but it's the only copy I have of Frankenstein, I think. I'd like to get it separate.
Oh, it's really small print.
Yes. I love it.
It's pretty long.
It's amazing.
I also have this that was on my bookshelf that I haven't read yet. Which is it's the same guy who wrote Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, which was turned into the film, which was a really good film. And one of the multiple copies of Jane Eyre that I own that I have not read any of them yet.
See, I know I have a copy of the Odyssey, but I don't know if I have a copy of the Iliad.
I actually have a copy of the Odyssey. It's in the other room. I'll be right back.
I'm going to check my shelf. Why does this always happen?
Because it can. And here I am, just sitting there humming to my bubby. Oh. Okay. Black sheep,
Is this a thing writers do? We hoard books and then never read them?
Yes, this is exactly what we do. Yeah, I have the Odyssey. I don't have the Iliad.
I haven't read any of these. I want to, but I haven't.
Mine's
Actually, this has been on my list for a while.
I want to read that.
Like a memoir style one. I really like reading like memoir / style books from people in the performing arts. That is a lot of fun. This is the Labyrinth one. So it's got the movie cover. Yeah.
Really good. I almost read that in high school.
I don't know what the book's like, but the TV miniseries is so well written. This is a book that I did for like year 11 or 12 literature that is now like an ABC movie, like TV movie. This book was really good. It's sort of like a crime. Yeah, it's a crime novel. It's the winner of the Duncan Laurie Dagger for Best Crime Novel, and it's an Australian one as well. So it's set in a fictional town that's basically sort of based off of Port Fairy, I think. Oh wow, this has gotten a bit damp. Yeah, this is a really good. It's dark. It's really dark. Like there's a priest pedophile ring sort of in it, but like in the crimes that they're investigating is all of these old guys keep getting murdered very brutally, and then they realize they were part of that. Wuthering Heights also have not read.
It was Truth Witch.
The one that I went to get.
Witch, not name of the rooms that they were reading on Kate's one.
Yeah, no, it was Truth Witch.
Yeah.
This is a translation. Oh, nice. Translation by Stephen Mitchell. So I don't know if it's any good, but it's in verse.
See, the reason I haven't read Truth Witch is because Susan Dennard was best friends with Sarah J. Maas.
I feel like this is where you need to like bring out a chant like Cachet has, where it's like, I don't have no tea, but if I did, it would be hot. We need a version for SJM at this point.
Yes. This also could be a very good book to read. Tad Williams' first published book. And it's about cats.
Oh, yes. Cats.
It is literally a fantasy adventure with cats as the protagonists.
Yes.
So gold.
I haven't read this in so long. I picked it up to read it again, and I just haven't read it. So...
You should read my favorite series.
I completely missed both that.
I said you should read my favorite series by Cassandra Clare.
Yeah, I do need to read Cassandra Clare's stuff. I haven't gotten around to it yet.
Skip the Mortal Instruments. You kind of don't need it because she explains everything at the start of every series anyway. Start with Infernal Devices, which is Clockwork Angel is the first one. Start with that because in my opinion it's the best one. And it's so good.
We were going to finish this stream 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, guys. We're going to call it a night. So thank you all for living through our rambling, particularly with us grabbing books out of our bookshelves.
Yeah.
I've got to go resort them all now. But half of them are going to go up. So
I have to go put the bill back on the bookshelf. Also, I didn't realize this was getting so musty. Oh, it's not too bad, but it feels like it's the pages are crinkling like that.
Yeah, that's getting moisture on it. Yeah,
I think it might have been waterlogged at some point, and I had to salvage it, and I think that's why it just hasn't dried out. So I'm going to leave it on top of the heater vent tonight because it's got the sort of cold feel that's like not damp but could be damp.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was in my school bag for like a few months while we were studying it at school, so it's been knocked about. This and Dark Roots by Kate Kennedy. You can tell are good books because I enjoyed them enough that I didn't resell them to the next school year.
Yeah. I know the type, guys. Anyway, we're going to say that's it for the night because otherwise we'll sit here and talk for another hour, and I really need to get some sleep.
Yes, so I agree.
Thank you all for coming. The next book will be the 5th season, as voted. So
by N.K. Jemisin.
Yes.
See you all then. Bye.
Bye.